Hello, everybody! We're here! We've gotten through half of the webcomic successfully! I know, insane, right?
Actually, I don't remember Act
This
1
has
to
truly been a
3,
journey.
so we have to reread it.
Yes, of course. Anyway. Begin Intermission 2.
It's the Grinch. The wolf head.
Very scary wolf head. End of Intermission 2.
It was a short intermission compared to the Midnight Crew one.
I do want to say, since it's not going to see the title of a YouTube video, Intermission 2 is titled The Man in the Cairo Overcoat. Anyway.
I mean, we saw him.
Yeah, he was there. He was in the Cairo overcoat.
That's Lord English, I'm thinking, right? Like, I'm not...
I think we could just say that, yeah.
It's pretty heavily implied.
Yeah, we've seen that it was the coat that was...
Doc Scratch...
Title of the song.
True, it is literally English. Doc Scratch said, "When I die, I will summon Lord English." And he died, and he summoned Lord English.
Look what Hussey went and did. Freaking summoned...
Go, Aradia's ancestor! Act 6.
Hide, Aradia's ancestor. Get out of there. I mean, you probably know Aradia's ancestor's name, I just don't remember it.
The Handmaid.
Ah, yeah. Whole new animation. 2 animations in an episode. We're eating good today.
I mean, we had 0 animations for the first 2 episodes of Act 5.
True.
That house.
And the story just restarts itself.
Oh boy.
Your name is John Egbert.
Let's introduce 4 more named characters.
Oh, I just realized we're foreshadowing all of them.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Is that a fenestrated wall I see?
Oh, sweet throwing Hella Jeff the movie. Is that Ben Stiller?
Why does little Cal have a sword?
Why can't little Cal have a sword? He should be allowed to have a sword if he wants.
He
Don't
was
forget,
first seen
he's-
with the Striders.
Don't forget, he's part of Doc Scratch.
I mean, he is Doc Scratch.
Yeah,
Say-
stupid
say-
fly.
It's like saying if I have eggs, is that a cake? No, it's part of a cake.
No, it's number 12 of the felt.
It foreshadows all 4 of them. But guess how many we're only gonna see?
True.
One.
Right, we ready for just one character for the next 2 hours or something?
Oh no.
There's actually
You're
2
not the one who
of
has to
them.
voice her.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. And it's not me and Jacob.
I mean,
All
we
right.
have lines.
Yeah, but
Why do we have, like, the caduceus staff up here?
you'll figure out. You'll find out.
I want new versions of WV. Give them to me. Give them to me now.
Homestuck.
Nope.
A young lady stands in her bedroom. It just so happens that today, the 11th of November 2011, is the date scheduled for the launch of a highly exclusive playtesting experience for a much-anticipated game. This young lady is expecting to find this game in her mailbox today. She is expecting the game to be enclosed in a pair of envelopes, and printed on these envelopes she is expecting to find her name. What do you suppose the name on the envelopes will be? Enter name. You cannot enter her name. It was already engraved in her honorary placronym on her 13th birthday, which was about 2.5 years ago, and has been sitting here neatly on the bookshelf ever since. Attempting to engrave it with another name after completing the sacred rite of passage is practically unheard of, and is a gesture nearly as offensive as it would be if you tried to name her something dumb like Barnstench Fartface. Luckily, she is not the sort to hold a grudge, and she will let it slide this time, as long as you hurry up and get her big day started.
I'm sorry, Crocker?
Jane Crocker.
Okay,
that's
so that's
right.
why you've been hiding her name from us for the past 3
Since
months.
we started.
Since we've started.
Examine room. Your name is Jane. As was previously mentioned, you are poised for an elite opportunity to test the Spurb Alpha. It is so elite, in fact, you are the only of your kind invited to playtest, though you guess that probably comes with the territory of being the heiress apparent to a baked goods empire. You don't suppose it hurts that you are said empire's #1 fangirl, either. It should come as no surprise that you enjoy baking, but you also adore reading detective stories. You fancy yourself a skilled prankstress, if by no other measure than the lineage. Though, at times, you feel it's tough to fill those shoes when you are surrounded by jokers. Seriously, the shenanigans perpetrated by your pals make your old-school japes feel kind of pedestrian sometimes, but oh well, you love them anyways. You once dabbled in amateur botany, but found it too frustrating, because your vegetables kept Actually, you know what? You don't want to talk about it. You love situation comedies, whilst holding particular affection for mustachioed funny men. You know your Foxworthys, your Funks, your Swansons, but not necessarily your Gallaghers per se, because you have to draw the fucking line somewhere. You are also pleased to contemplate frightening fauna, though saddened by the regrettable fakeness attribute. But none of that's on your mind now, because you are psyched about this special date, 11/11/11, i.e. 2x3 prong day, whatever that means. A date exhibiting just the sort of numerical gimmick corporations love to exploit for their big releases, or for launching major rebranding initiatives. In the case of your cherished multi-global empire, both such events are slated to happen today. You can't wait to see what is in store, and for the mail to come. When it does, you will waste no time in embarking on the game's maiden voyage, and if even a fraction of what you've heard turns out to be true, you're prepared to have the time of your life. What will you do? Jane, quickly retrieve arms from chest. Jane is not empowered to rehash this tired running gag because all of a sudden she is too busy being the other guy. We need to figure out what this fella's name is pronto. Enter name. Once again, you make the incalculable blunder of attempting to engrave an already allocated plaquenim. His name was etched when he turned 13 too, almost 3 years ago. It's been sitting here messily in this unbelievably deadly pile of guns ever since. What sort of vulgar, childish moniker were you going to stick this poor bastard with? Barf breath turd smirk? It doesn't even matter. Just tell him what to do. Examine room. Your name is Jake. You love movies. All movies. You would describe your taste in film as eclectic, but in truth it isn't much less than totally indiscriminate. You bluster frequently of exuberance for firearms and fisticuffs and adventure, though have no human company with which to share these interests. But who needs chums when you can enjoy a top-notch gander of your gals of cerulean complexion? Hubba hubba. You're known to be found with your nose in a comic book or two. Not that it makes you a nerd or anything, like you even care about that. Not a gent of your panache and swagger, qualities which you would bandy with aplomb on your globe-spanning adventures, hypothetically speaking. You would love to travel around the world, toppling any sacred urns you encountered. You'd be tickled by the opportunity to defile hallowed tombs everywhere, raiding them of their treasures, and how you'd give your right leg for a shot at desecrating the shit out of some real-life mystic ruins for their Byzantine wares. Luckily for your limb, there is a dandy set of such ruins nearby, and you desecrate them quite frequently. You're also troubled to contemplate frightening fauna, and plagued daily by the regrettable realness attribute. What else? You sure like to wrestle. Did you mention fisticuffs yet? You know, scrums and whatnot. Also skulls. Gosh, you love skulls. There's a good skull at the heart of any mystery, haunting its every page. That is what you always say, or at least it is what you always hope. What will you do? God damn it, Raven, I'm seeing the gimmick!
Can we
What do
just
you mean?
observe?
I'm seeing the gimmick!
Look up right above that.
Oh my god!
Oh, I get it, probably.
Can we just point out the Star Wars? They got.
Yeah,
He's a big fan of
some of the
indiscriminate
things.
movies.
Hey, can we look at some of these? Hold up.
Jones.
And Weekend at Bernie's!
Hey,
He has Ghost Rider, Terminator.
great movies.
There's some good ones in here and some not so good ones. Is that Brendan Fraser's Mummy, or is this one that? He's got two
Yeah, there
posters
is
for
a
the mummy.
One of these is
Couple
the good mummy.
posters of girls of cerulean complexion,
He does.
like Avatar.
Like, Smurfette.
Yeah, there's- you got,
Still Stargate.
Mystique. You got. Yeah, there's.
He's got comic books
Good
on the
movies.
floor. Hey, is that a robotic bunny? Anyway.
They both have robotic bunnies. Don't know how that works, but still.
They don't
Yeah,
either,
stop.
worry.
I don't care about version 2.0.7. That's been on there the entire time. That's gonna drive people crazy. Jake, retrieve arms from floor, post haste. You make a dutiful motion toward your trusty firearms, doing your part to assail the mushy carcass of a horse that passed away long ago, when suddenly a wild character select screen approaches. You really feel like you were in the driver's seat now. You can basically take this story literally anywhere as long as you don't pick one of those shadowy characters, and as long as the panels are actually finished being drawn. It is like this whole panoramic cornucopia of limitless possibilities sprawling before your very eyes. Who do you want to be? Does this change anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'd go with Jane though.
Oh.
Oh.
I want to be this guy. It does actually show us where they are.
Yeah,
Nice.
isn't that fun?
You're suddenly Jane again. What was it you were up to? Oh, right, this game. You're excited about that. Earlier this morning, you thought you heard the mail truck, even though the mail never comes in the morning. But just to be sure, you rushed downstairs to check, even though due to recent events, you were forbidden from leaving the house. Alas, it was not there, and you sort of spaced out at the sky with a goofy grin on your face for no great reason, and you were caught red-handed by your guardian. Then you got in trouble. You think you might be grounded now? Whatever, Dad! Jane, examine fetch modus. It's your recipe modus, an extremely handy little inventory widget your dad got you for your birthday a couple years ago. He can be a real hard-ass sometimes. Not really, but he sure knows how to spoil his little girl. Jane, captcha log it. Did she just captcha log her fetch modus? You stick the recipe modus in your, recipe modus, you flip the card over and look at the back. The thing about this modus you think is really cool is that instead of showing a completely useless, wobbly, garbled code on the back, it itemizes the components which could be used to create it. In a completely hypothetical framework, of course. Just another wonderful innovation by your favorite company. It releases many products of an experimental nature, often with applicability to other kinds of technology and products which haven't hit the market yet. Of course, as the heiress, you are privy to all the sweetest gear in advance. Maybe you'll rummage through some of that stuff later. The modus as a captcha-logged object has only one simple recipe involving an array modus, snore, and a cookbook. Yes! Other objects have more varied and elaborate recipes, though. Jane, get hat. You captcha-log your favorite hat, which is also your only hat. You spent basically your entire childhood in this hat, pretending to be hard-boiled detectives and whatnot. In public, you and your dad made quite the pair. Everyone could tell by a glance that you were your father's daughter, sired from his loins directly and genetically through what was undoubtedly a natural process of human procreation involving a man and a woman. People would definitely nod and say, yep, that little lady sure did emerge from a womb on account of that gentleman's awesome virility. As you can see, there are loads of ways to cook up a hat like this, involving many stupid combinations of random objects. I want to point out this one in particular for using the...
Why does it cost so much?
It's a good hat.
Every
Only
other
that
ways to
specific
create
recipe costs
Yeah,
that
yeah.
much.
Other ways to get this hat cost like 1 grist.
Yo, is that the shaving almanac and the steak that Jade gives to Beck?
It's just a
Yeah,
steak.
looks like it.
It can be a specific steak if I want it to be.
Yeah, I
Is
guess.
that Charles Dutton?
That's Charles Dutton's book.
Want to spend all that grist?
Jane, inspect posters. It's one of your funny men pinups, a glorious Foxworthy. It's one interest that overlaps with your dad's. He thinks his corny redneck shtick is just the funniest thing since sliced bread. That was sliced by a hilarious clown with a laugh knife. Honestly, you don't care much for his comedy, though. Stealing the low-income bucolic class's affectionate sass ad nauseum isn't what you'd call your cup of tea. You just think he's really handsome. Every time he starts rattling off pointers on how to self-diagnose bumpkinhood, you just get lost in that pair of blue twinklers and those soft auburn lip bristles. You were so shy when you got the poster autographed. If only you felt worthy of that, Fox. Oh, and there's one of your Problem Sleuth posters. You've got a lot of Problem Sleuth stuff because you think detective stories are just so swell. This was the last panel in the first story, which ended a little before your 13th birthday. Since then, the author has been steadily updating Problem Sleuth 2, which you've been following avidly. You were happy that he stayed in that lane and stuck with a time-tested formula. If he went in a different direction, you probably would have found it really disappointing. There's a joke about Homestuck 2 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a joke about
Somewhere.
Homestuck.
I mean, yeah, it's also just a joke about Homestuck, but there's definitely a joke about Homestuck 2 in there somewhere. Jane, check out other posters. Another sleuth poster, of course, with two of your favorite dames ever. The Tobias and the Manhattan were gifts for your 14th birthday, sent to you by your good buddy Jake. Just a couple of periwinkle heartthrobs, unquestionably sent in playful retaliation for the ribbing you've given him over the years for his inexplicable infatuation with his Thalo femmes. So he made a couple of coy recommendations for objects of your attraction, and you have hung his cobalt beefcakes here since. He was pretty spot on with the Blue Funk, to be honest, since that's like the best show ever. Mr. Cross can blue himself any time, as far as you're concerned. But the Manhattan, not so much. Comics aren't really your thing. But you hung it up anyway, because that's the sort of thing you do in a mildly escalating feud of passive-aggressive one-upsmanship. You own it. But you felt kind of weird about having his blue mutant penis dangle over your head while you sleep, so you covered it up with something even more obscene. Some sort of revolting troll Howie Mandel, also gifted to you by Jake. Good lord, does that kid have some spotty tastes. There's also your magnificent Swanson... What?
Don't you insult little monsters like that.
Ron Swanson is the perfect man. You've tried to order all of the bacon and eggs in a restaurant on several occasions, but your dad never lets the order go beyond the joke level. What a fuddy-duddy. Jane, take spoon. You took your trusty Junior Battermaster's Bowlbuster Stirring Solution 50,000, into your strife deck, allocated with the ever-martially pragmatic spoon kind. You wouldn't have it any other way. You love your fancy spoon. It has several million recipes stored in it, and walks you through each step with a soothing female robot voice, just like in science fiction. Some urban legends say that the device also broadcasts subliminal messages distributing ominous Crocker Corp propaganda, but you don't put any stock in that sort of baloney for a second. There's one switch on it that doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe yours is defective? Still, it's perfectly serviceable and has assisted you in whipping many a cake into delicious submission. Jane, examine bunnies. These customized bunnies were gifts to you on your 13th birthday from two of your friends. Both were heirlooms passed down to them, and they decided to coordinate gift ideas and send you dressed up versions of their beloved childhood toys. You like to think he was shooting for a detective bunny with the one on the left, but you know realistically it was probably an Indiana Jones bunny more in line with his interests than yours, especially since it came with a little whip you've since misplaced. The bunny used to belong to his grandma. The other one used to belong to your friend's mom, and she dressed it as a wizard, which was also unapologetically more representative of her interests than yours. That's okay though, you loved the gesture anyway, and you and she are totally... What the fuck? You...
It's BFFsties forever.
Yeah,
Ye-
BFFCs forever.
You and she are totally BFFCs forevers, her words, and you agree with them. You did get one more bunny from your other pal. He had to make it himself from scratch since for some ridiculous reason he didn't happen to have a ratty old bunny heirloom lying around. His gift was somewhat less innocuous. You have no idea where it is though, probably just as well. Jane, look out window. You've been fidgeting around your room all day, making little observations about your various belongings, checking the clock. When will the dang mail get here? You take another peek out the window just in case. It's still not there, but there's your dad. What's he up to? He just captulogged the car. Oh, that's right, he was gonna wash it today. He's probably taking it back into the backyard next to the garden hose. He keeps a very busy fatherly itinerary, so many dad things to do every single day. If the mail arrives soon, this would be a great opportunity to sneak out and get it. Fingers crossed. I like that at this point, him captulogging the car is just like, yeah, you know.
Thing you can do in this universe.
Like, imagine if he did that in Act 1.
Yeah, that would blow everyone's minds.
Looks like somebody is...
picked up the whole car and put it in his wallet.
Looks like somebody is bothering you. You better make it quick. You've got a window to stay glued to. Jane, go to computer. You know you really should switch to Pester Chum? It's what your friends use, and it's a lot better than Betty Bother if you're being honest with yourself. PP is just so spammy and annoying with all the pop-ups everywhere. Ugh, look at this dreadful clutter. You've got to switch, but then brand loyalty is a powerful thing. Looks like Jake is messaging you. Jane, answer Jake.
What is that?
Alright. Let's see if I can do this. Jane. Forgive my botherations. I know this is meant to be a banking rip snorter of a day for you and all. Do you happen to know where the devil fuck Dickens and Mr. Shiner might be?
Okay, oh, that's fine. I had been meaning to message you sooner, actually, but I suppose it's all. I suppose in all the hubbub today, it slipped my mind, which is a shocking fact on its lonesome, considering what I have to tell you.
God.
As for this Strider business, he's an elusive guy. You know that. I talked to him yesterday. That's as much help as I can be.
Shoot. I really need to ask him something, but he's got his blasted autoresponder turned on.
Who? I love that thing.
He wouldn't be pleased to hear you say that.
What do you need with him? Does this have to do with your crazy pen pal project?
It most certainly does, and time is of the essence. Today's the day I have to finish it and send it, not a day later. So you see why I'm feeling friggin' discombobulated at the moment?
Sorry, Jay. Jay?
Jay, yeah.
Oh, okay, Jay. This would be the birthday present for your grandmother?
No, it's for your grandfather. Simply to be relayed to him by my grandmother. A joint gift to him from she and I.
Her and me?
What? Who and you now?
A joint gift from her and me. Grammar, Jake.
Oh, for frigid flippin' sake, Jane. This is no time for your prudish pedantry. Leave your bookish malarkey in a dusty old library somewhere. I have an adventure to get on with.
So if I have this straight, the big thing hogging up your plate today is not this marvelous new game which I have invited you to play with me, but finishing a robotic rabbit to give to my dead Pop.
Bingo.
Double pistols and a wink.
You're a very strange and silly boy.
Please, Jane, we have addressed this. I'm setting the gift back in time to when they are both alive and about our age. Or something like that. Something funny is going on here that I have not fully grappled yet, but dag nabbit if I'm not gonna see it through.
Well, Godspeed then. I do hope you can pull it off.
Are you being fresh with me now?
No.
Look, Jane, I know you've never believed me and you think everything I say is some big cockamamie goof off, but I think today of all days is when you should start taking some things more seriously, especially since I have always had your back. I have always believed in you.
Hey, I believed in you too. However, believing in somebody isn't the same thing as believing in somebody. With that much said, I think that maybe I'm getting ready to believe some of the wild stories I've heard. Or if not believe outright, reserve judgment on, at least.
That's so.
I don't know. I'm still not sure what to think. But I wanted to tell you I am sorry my voice I forgot give me 1 second. I forgot I had my volume up so I could hear it at the party. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm still not sure what to think, but I wanted to tell you this morning. This morning was I had a really wild dream last night, and you were in it.
Oh my. Glasses fog up, fumbles for handkerchief.
Not like that. It was so real. I think we were in the game, even though we haven't started playing yet. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. Whether it was a vision of the future or somewhere that exists now, or if it was just a really lucid dream due to excitement.
What was I doing there?
Not a heck of a lot. I really wanted to tell you about all of it, but it take some time to explain, and we both have things to attend to, with your time traveling rabbit work and I my vigilant window gazing.
Too true. Let us reconvene later and sort out all this shit at a leisurely pace.
Yes, okay. Good luck, Jake.
Okay, you too, Jane. Bye.
Jane, check clock. Hold the phone. 11:10. You almost forgot. 1 minute until the Empire's rebranding launch. Wonder if it'll live up to the hype. Guess you'll find out. Jane, wait a minute. You write out another 60 seconds and... Huh? Something happened to your baking chest. Did the logo just change? You wonder what else may have been affected. Jane, look around. Yep, this one changed too. Crocker Corp is nothing if not thorough with its branding tactics. You guess it's pretty cool? It's just a fork instead of a spoon. Not the most awe-inspiring logo you've ever seen, but who are you to judge, aside from the future owner of the company? Make a mental note that when you turn 18 and inherit the company, you'll change it back to a spoon. You love the spoon. Jane, examine Bullbuster. Sure enough, the Junior Battermaster's Bullbuster Stirring Solution 50,000 has been affected too, along with your Specibus. Jane, try flipping switch. You try the broken switch again. Hey look, it does something now, toggling your trusty Bullbuster between a stirring solution and a poking solution. Neat! Jane, back to the window. Nope, still nothing. You surely would have heard the truck pull up. You guess the Empire wasn't able to coordinate the mail with its rebranding. Maybe the US Postal Service is the one thing it doesn't have its gnarled claws in yet. Another mental note, sink gnarled claws into post office when you take over. Jane, open chest. You decide to pass the time by rummaging through your baking chest and... Hang on, maybe later. Jane, answer. Okay, this is me. Okay, fuck. What am I gonna do here?
Who is this?
It's Uranian Umbra.
Who is
The
that?
girl.
I'll just do generic girl voice, I guess, for now. Good morning, lovely.
Why, hello.
So I guess today is finally the day you make everything better. It is the day where, after the legendary octet of mutual progenitori... What the fuck is that word? Progenitoriety. Wow, okay. Let's try that one again. It is the day whereafter the legendary octet of mutual progenitariety will come together and heal a great breach in paradox space. A day delivered through 80 billion years and 4 distinct universal instances worth of unfathomable turbulence. And while the emerald eye of this storm is fixed in the abyss forever. Today you are poised to escape its scowl once and for all. By Skya's guiding light, you may leave behind its turning arms of bright colors and mayhem and secure peace for your cosmic progeny for all duration. And if you are to meet this desperate departure, And if you are to meet this departure with trepidation, I would understand. But also I would ask, is there nothing I can do to ease your mind?
Gosh, so formal today.
Yes, I am afraid I am guilty of rehearsing this pep talk well in advance. I thought you deserved a proper send-off.
Aw.
Well then, is there nothing I can do? It was a serious question.
You needn't worry about easing my nerves. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be nearly as thrilled about today as I am.
Splendid! But remember, I will be here to help, whilst refraining from casual spoilers to the best of my ability.
That is reassuring.
Have you corresponded with your first designated co-player yet?
No, I haven't seen her online yet today. I'm really hoping Lalonde won't flake on me like this time. Have you heard from her?
Not the today that is local to you, though I do have a wee bit more trouble monitoring her than the rest of you. Curious dark patches in transmission, humph. Still, I wouldn't fret over it. She is as good a chum as any you have, and should come through ultimately, even if things seem dire.
If you say so. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I had an amazing dream last night.
Blimey!
I believe it may have been of the sort you described, a dream of awakening, presuming I haven't just flat out lost my marbles.
Indeed, I'm sure it was. I knew you would wake up soon. Might you describe what you saw?
I was in a bright gold city above a brilliant blue sky, but the horizon was dark as night. Was this the place you told me about? What was it called? Aw, shucks, this count as a casual spoiler?
Not at all. That is a simple detail about the realm you are about to explore without directly involving your future decisions of consequence. The place you visited was called Prospit. It is where I have woken up every time I have gone to sleep for most of my life.
I didn't see you there. At least I don't think I did.
No, you wouldn't have. My Prospit is an alternate version from yours, in a completely different session quite far afield of your reality. If we are ever to meet in person, it is unlikely to be while playing our respective games.
Okay then. I mentioned this briefly to Jake, but he didn't have much to say before we parted ways. I'll gather that if this is all true, then it means Jake has not awoken yet.
I think this is for you to determine in time. What is your hunch?
I don't know, but there was one thing about the dream that was very troubling. I'm becoming nervous to consider what it might mean.
Understandable, but it will be important to practice patience today. You have a long road ahead of you, and many questions will be answered in time. But we can talk it over later. Now, we both have games to prepare for. I know you could never fully appreciate what this actually meant, but I took much care to sync up these conversations with you on the same day that I began playing as well. That way, we can journey through our sessions together and compare notes.
I'm still not sure I appreciate what that means, but I appreciate that a nice gesture has been made if you say so. I guess I should just start believing all this now, huh? Rather than learning it to be true later and feeling the fool for all of my curmudgeonly skepticism. For starters, I guess I could drop my reservation about your story.
Will you?
I can write off as much to tomfoolery as I'm no stranger to a good prank myself, but quite honestly, you seem too kind for this charade. Not the type I expect to trot out such persistent falsehoods beyond their humorous welcome. So what do I know? Consarn it, maybe you are an alien girl from Uranus, and together we are about to play a game which determines the fate of existence. Sign me up.
Oh, but I never claimed to be from that planet, which is only in the far reaches of your solar system. In fact, I am from much farther away, a different universe altogether. But if you truly mean it, thank you for believing me. Now, Jane, my lovely, let us prepare for this adventure. Remember what I said about the need for patience. Patience with your friends. Patience for your growth as a hero of life. And patience for the coming of the other four of legend. A hero of breath, and of light, and of time, and of space. And if you still find yourself in doubt, just check the inscription on that big old book downstairs. After all, if you can't trust words written by your own hand, then what use is trust at all? Kisses! Jane. Okay, back to the chest. You return to your baking chest, which you use mainly for storing quality pranking apparatus and a few other odds and ends. I'm gonna push this mug away from the edge of my desk.
Good idea.
Oh, hello, Pop Pop. His friendly face is there to greet you every time you open your chest. You would have loved to meet him. Unfortunately, his life was cut short at the tender age of 86 in a tragic accident, coincidentally on the same day you were born. Or so your dad tells you. Pop Pop Crocker was a legendary comedian, following in the footsteps of his grandfather, who of course was the greatest southern pranking legend of all time. One day you hope to follow in Pop Pop's too. But then, if the whoppers you've been told recently have any truth to them, maybe we'll get to meet him after all. It seems too good to be true. The only relationship you've ever had with him are through video footage of his vaudevillian antics on a stage, or through his role as Judge Johnny Stone on one of your favorite old sitcoms, Night Court. Jane, rummage around. Just your basics when it comes to pranking. A few clever disguises, a name-brand dunce cap, a slightly abridged edition of Sasker's text updated for the modern prankster, and scrubbed of a few of the more egregious julep-fueled racial slurs. Several other stray books, your company's prototypical model for the Grist Widget 12,000, and of course your super handy Unreal Heiress Thoughtwave Tiara Top for the young go-getting junior Battermaster on the go.
Real Heiress.
This looks familiar. I'm just gonna.
I love the Unreal Heiress.
Just gonna.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
has a symbol on
that
it.
symbol looks somewhat familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Unreal Heiress. That's great.
Jane, dump chest. Might as well get all this crap out of here and take it with you. You never know when you might need it. You shut the chest and... Oh, hello, Harry Anderson. Always a pleasure to see you there. He is also one of your idols, and as it happens, has a bit of a history with your Pop Pop. They were rivals on the vaudeville company and Magic Act circuit. Eventually, the less competent Anderson was shamed out of the industry and went on to greener pastures in the private dicking biz. He became one of the hardest-boiled detectives on the mean streets of the Big Easy, and later made a fortune off his memoirs, ghostwritten by Mike Cavany. Jane, capture log all. Your Celdex is so great. You shudder to remember some of the old shitty fetch modi you used to struggle with when you were younger, still learning the capture logging ropes. Fibonacci heap? What the effing noob. Jane, inspect books.
Pony bells, hell fucking yes.
From DS. You have a cookbook, which of course was made obsolete by your computerized talking bullbuster. You wouldn't dare part with it though. Too many wonderful memories. There's Anderson's aforementioned book, Wise Guy. His Cavany's stories are gripping, in a way. And then there's a customized copy of Pony Pals, gift to you on your 14th birthday from the slippery Mr. Strider. Each page contains lovingly handwritten commentary on the deeds of this intrepid young horse. It can be created by combining Maple Hoof, Wise Guy, and a mysterious pair of sunglasses. Jane, check out Grist Widget. This thing's a piece of junk. Just waste your boondollars and it destroys your cool gear to produce these stupid things that look like gushers. But unlike gushers, which serve many practical purposes like inducing vomiting and simulating the experience of eating plump insects, these things are totally useless. I'm just gonna...
Hey, you got gushers?
Home.
You got
Confirm?
Confirm. Do they induce vomiting and simulate eating plump insects?
They're not great, I will say.
Finally, you're agreeing with me. You guys used to love gushers, and I
don't think any of us unironically ever
gushers.
said gushers are good. Okay, never mind.
I love gushers.
I've never said they were good.
They are
I mean,
amazing.
You
guys
know,
are wrong.
but I'm not a huge fan.
What is wrong with you guys?
They're like funny.
We've all seen the guy who ate like just the juice of like a pound of gushers. He didn't. His next few
Didn't I
days
send
after
you guys that
other
video?
pain- yeah. He didn't enjoy that experience.
Jane, insert hat card. Okay, you'll try it out with one of your less prized possessions just to prove how dumb it is. I never liked this hat much. It makes you look like a gnome and basically isn't funny at all. You pop the card in. The grist widget indicates it will cost 10 boondollars to convert this object into grist. That's not too bad, you guess? It's not like the currency has much value anyway. It was introduced as a sort of B Corp fun bucks to be used by youngsters specifically on qualifying merch online and stuff. Brilliant business strategy, really. As heiress to the Empire, you are naturally endowed with millions, which you have a reputation for being very generous with. You've been considering using your wealth to set up a scholarship fund to allow underprivileged kids to go to Boone College.
Boone College.
Jane, Activate. See, utterly pointless. You hope Crocker Corp is going somewhere with this technology, because if not, this product is first in line for getting the axe when you're in charge. Jane, wear tiara top. You put on your highly fashionable Unreal Heiress Thoughtwave tiara top and flip it on. It immediately hums to life as its blazing fast processes mingle with your thoughts. It is the most efficient computing technology in the world by far, as long as you don't wear it for too long. But aside from a few migraines, you can't possibly imagine any drawbacks that could come with merging your thoughts with your experimental technology from an extremely powerful corporation. Wait, what? Jane, continue vigilant window gazing. Still
I
no,
think this company might be evil.
just a little.
Yeah.
Still no sign of the mail. Might as well keep the tiara top on while you look, even if it means suffering through all these bullshit pop-up ads. That way you can keep an eye out for Lalonde while you're at it.
It actually says "obey" on the street signs up there. Wait, hail Nucci.
Yeah, I didn't know Guy Fieri was in the Supreme Court.
I would love that universe.
Speak of the devil fucking Dickens. Jane, answer Lalonde.
Jane! Hey, Janie! Answer, please. Answer. Jane.
OMG, overreact much. I kept you waiting for all of 2 seconds. Where have you been today?
Nowhere. Just chilling here. When all of a sudden,
All of a sudden.
it hits me that we have something really fucking important to talk about.
This hit you just now. You made plans to get in touch early this morning, and I have seen neither hide nor hair of you all day.
It hits me that Jake's B-Day is coming up really soon. Just a few days before mine, remember? Or I guess it would be if it wasn't for the end of the world that's about to happen.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
I just wanted your advice on what to get him. Something sentimental, I guess. But, I mean, I'm mostly tapped out of precious heirlooms at the moment. So, I don't know. But, not like anything coming on too strong. Something that says, this is totes platonic and everything. No eyebrow raising funny biz is going on over here. But still. Says, call me if you wanna.
Now I know you're joking around to get my goat.
Yeah, the goat getting thing, I mean. But joking, no. I think not. You don't think that if I didn't say he was off limits on account of you being my best friend, I wouldn't be all the hell over that. Damn. That rugged sense of adventure and delightful, silly vernacular that's like weirdly and bewitchingly not self-aware. Those adorable teeth, adorable teeth, swoon.
No, stop.
Well, shit, Jane. What am I even supposed to do? I can't hit on any body apparently. I can't entertain nary a frisky thought about any Bobby, because apparently everybody's off limits. Bunch of goddamn typos. This shit sucks. You don't even let me say your dad is hot. Let me rewind. You don't even let me say your dad is hot, even though we both know he way the fuck is. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because it's weird. And you're drunk.
Correction, drinking. Present tense. Grammar, Jane.
I don't see why you don't try to court the favor of Mr. Strider. If you ask me, he and you are perfect for each other.
Oh, Jane. So naive. So naive.
Lordy, how can you be this far gone so early? It isn't even noon yet.
You forget. We live in very different time zones. It's a lot later here.
You're 3 hours ahead of me.
You would be amazed how much can happen in 3 hours.
What would your mother have to say if she caught you?
Sure. She wouldn't give a shit. I mean, she's the one who stocked the goddamn liquor cabinets in the first place. I don't even think she even ever had a drop in her life, probably. So why else is she putting it in there? Like a passive-aggressive dare for me? Aggressive. It's just the sort of mind game she would play.
So even if your insane paranoid theory happens to be true, your response is, screw it. Time to help myself to all of this mind game booze.
Yup. Pretty much.
Ugh. You are completely impossible like this. I can't believe you chose to do this today of all days. I should have known better. Here, I'm waking up bright and early, waiting all day with my nose pressed against this glass for the mail to come, and wondering if you'll ever log on. And all the while, you're just getting blind, stinking, schnonker-bottomed drunk.
What you waiting for in the mail? Is something happening today or something?
The alpha. Jeez Louise, you are hopeless.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Are you at all ready to play it if it comes?
I guess, but you sure you even want to play this thing? It's just the batter witch. It's just what the batter witch wants you to do.
Not this again.
If you want to go ahead and be a chump, Jane, it's your call. I'm just saying. I know what a chump looks like, and you don't look like no chump I ever saw. If you
Give
go
me a
through
second.
it this,
I mean, he said give me a second, but he's not.
if you go through it this, I'll have to add your profile to my chump roll, which is like the real actual thing I maintain, instead of being a joke. Is that what you want?
The Batter Witch does not exist. It is an idiotic urban legend. How many times have I explained this? My great-great-grandmother, who founded this company and is accused of holding this identity, would have to be almost 200 years old if she were still alive today. The idea is such preposterous hogwash, it is hardly worth dignifying with a rational response. The iconic face of the company isn't even a real person. She was fabricated long ago during the company's fledgling years.
Right, as you know, an alter ego for something much more sinister.
Such cuckoo bird nonsense. In any case, I don't understand the nature of this second guessing, besides chalking it up to your unwelcome inebriation. We had agreed you would play with me. You sounded excited about it. Have you even obtained your copies yet?
Yes. Obtained. Sure did.
Through your various technologically cryptographic means, I presume.
Oh, you bet. Hacked the shit out of those tight mainframes and all said jackpot like a bunch of times. All those ciphers and bobby traps, backdoor trojans and whatnot were no match for my codes, Snicker.
I am quizzically narrowing my eyes, trying to solve the joke you're attempting, assuming it even is one.
Okay, Jane, what I'm saying is that in this parlance of baking, because I know that is what gets you off, is that it is a fucking cakewalk.
Oh,
Like, by which I mean, not to say, her, I'm hot as shit, hackser bitch you ever knew. As dead lay to the corporate grid ass, she is beautiful, which I am, but what I mean is, shit wasn't even guarded. It was just some files that were there, unsecured, and I took them. I jacked them right off of the interweb. Telematrix. and then applied lipstick, femme fatale style, and was like, shit, yes, I all kinds of know how to use my web browser to download several files.
Really?
Yeah, so now I got it. If you really want to play, which you shouldn't,
That is a bit puzzling. I thought this software was highly proprietary.
I told you, she wants you to play. Wants us all to part of her big plans. And you're playing right into them. Like, shit.
Yes, I know. You make yourself clear. But what doesn't add up about your story is I believe somebody doesn't want me to play. How else do you explain the recent attempts on my life?
Don't know. Someone out there wants the stock price to take a hit?
There.
Or it's just more conniving of the witch.
So this hypothetical monstrosity wants me to succeed, but also wants me to die. Makes a lot of sense.
Wouldn't put it past her. Makes you feel persecuted. Sorry. Persecuted. Redoubles your determination to play. You advance her plans in whatever incomprehensible way until suddenly you did everything she needed you to. At which point you become crazy expendable, and then she expends you like a lot of boon dollars on a shitty BC merch.
I see. This sounds less like a crackpot conspiracy theory by the minute.
Whatever. All I'm saying is a bunch of stuff that's def true to the max. I'll send this file to you, though. And what you do with it's up to you. So, you want it now or what?
It's tempting, and I'm curious as heck to play it. But the mail should be coming any minute. I've waited this long for it, so I might as well use the official discs addressed to me. When it comes, I hope that you'll change your tune. Not to mention brew yourself a pot of coffee and sober your drunk butt up.
My drunk butt's tune will stay as unchanged as it will remain not drunk. Maker my burly, coherent words.
Woohoo. Okay, fair enough. But I believe that when we start playing together, you'll come around. Personally, I can hardly contain my excitement over it. If years ago someone told me, which incidentally some did, that today I would have an exclusive opportunity to play what is absolutely the most cutting-edge immersive simulation game ever released, developed by a company which has already done so much for advancement of humanity, I would have said, shucks, Buster, sign me up.
Jane.
Yes.
Jane.
What?
Jane, did you know that I am utterly in love with the fact that I have a best friend who says things like, shucks, Buster.
Shoosh, you drunkie. Oh.
WTF?
The thing. The floppy thing.
Is Caden back yet?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
just kinda
cool.
sitting here listening.
I just wanted to make sure.
The floppy swoop swingy doodad. The army delete. The dealy lalonde. The dealy.
What?
The god darned red swingy flappy lever arm thingamabob. Whatever it's called. On the mailbox.
Breathe, Cracker. Slow breaths, like this. I'm breathing regular, FYI.
It's up. It's up, it's up, it's up.
I don't get a lot of mail out here, and I'm no mail expert. But doesn't that mean not the right thing? Like, you're supposed to put it up if you want something taken away, not have the guy put it up if mail comes. I think your mailman is quite possibly a dumbass.
No, who cares about that? The dealy. The dealy. It's up, it's up. It's here, it's here, it's here. Ah.
What?
What?
I have no fucking clue. I'm gonna be honest.
What do you mean? Oh, that.
Nah, so fucking at this.
BRB.
Jane, prepare to retrieve mail. You scamper over to the door, but pause a second to think. Is your dad still washing the car? Hopefully he's still preoccupied so you can sneak out. But it doesn't hurt to be prepared for an encounter. Luckily, that is exactly what you are. Jane, don clever disguise. Why, is that his loving daughter, or could it be none other than Inspector Jacques Clochot? Mr. Clochot, what are you doing in this household? Can I bake you a cake? Please, make yourself comfortable while I go about my business, not being suspicious. But, wait, perhaps that is not so much the distinguished Inspector Clochot as it is the world-renowned investigator Hercule Poirot, because the little curly mustache is a lot cuter. The great Poirot in this house? Such an honor. I will set the kettle to boil straight away. Who would have guessed this home would be so heavily trafficked by famous French detectives at this time of day? Oh my god, the good Poirot appears to be clucking little pleasantries in his adorable French accent through the high-pitched voice of an enthusiastic teen girl. I surely don't have the heart to ground this upstanding dapper gentleman, no matter how many dastardly attempts are made on her life. Yeah, this is a really shitty disguise. Jane, exit. You make a cautious motion toward a beckoning exit knob when suddenly the same wild character select screen reapproaches non-threateningly. You note that you still cannot pick one of the shadowy characters, but maybe you haven't been the other guy yet? That means it's time to click him. Maybe you already have been him, in which case you're done with this thing. The narrative really has no way of knowing. Your ass remains firmly planted in the driver's seat, as always. And just like that, back to Jake. What was it you were up to? Oh, right, you were gonna pick up these dang guns off the floor when you were interrupted by some fleeting imperceptible thought. You kind of space out sometimes. Jake, about those arms. Right, you pick up your twin M9 Berettas, weapons of choice in an absurd arsenal inherited from an eccentric old woman. Guns are so cool. Your grandma was rad. Jake, examine holster belt. It's your authentic Tomb Raider sexy thigh strap double holster, complete with cool skull buckle and everything. You like to think you pull it off about as well as Croft herself. Jake, wear it. You like to think that, but in truth you look ridiculous. You think you probably need shorter shorts to, make it work? Probably skin-tight shorts, too. As it is, the cuffs of your baggy shorts get kind of bunched up underneath the thigh straps, which is uncomfortable and makes you look like a tool. That's some amount of foreshadowing. Jake, okay, forget it. Better off just keeping it in your strife deck. You draw the guns faster from there anyway. Jake, examine bed. You think your bed is some sort of electronic gadget? You're pretty sure those bedpost globes are supposed to glow like light bulbs under certain circumstances, but you've never been able to figure out what purpose it serves. Just more mysterious junk inherited from your eclectic grandma. She also gave you these bed sheets when you were very young, which you adore, but only for sentimental reasons. You aren't too keen on monsters. No, those should...
They're just normal monsters. What are you talking
Yep,
about?
they're just normal monsters. There's
Electronic
nothing
is that?
Just
special.
keep breathing.
There's nothing
You
special
know.
about...
Spider Girl.
There's
That's
not,
cool.
not a single thing is special about the monsters on that bedsheet.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Hey, he's a fan of Punisher. I'm hoping that's one of the good Punisher runs.
Hey, is that a bull fairy?
Wait, zoom back in. Is that Spider Island? Yes, that is from
See,
the Spider
this
Island
one I
run.
expect from you.
Yeah.
I know that run. I mean, I think he's basically a fan of Spider Girl, and that's her run. That was her like tie-in with Spider Island, but still very
Spider
cool.
Girl.
Yeah, Spider Girl.
You didn't know about Spider Girl? I don't know who the fuck Spider Girl is.
Neither do I.
It's a person. I've never read much of her stuff, and then they kind of dropped her when Spider Gwen became popular.
They were like, hey, here's
See-
a more interesting character.
Dylan's
You're gonna piss off
the
a lot of people depending on who hears this.
You
Dylan's
know,
the
all
Western comic,
like
he-
50 people that are going to hear this.
It's kind of funny. Dylan's like, oh yeah, I know all about Western comics. And over here, I know about all the Eastern comics. I can list off a shit ton of information about
Eastern
those.
comics. He means manga.
He means manga.
No, manga.
Jake, examine posters. Which posters? Your whole room is nothing but posters. Sometimes you find it hard to focus on any one of them. You just relax your eyes and get lost in all the incredible heroes and adventures which exploded from the silver screen and into your bedroom as well as your heart. Movies are so great. You've never seen a movie you didn't like, you're pretty sure. People give you a hard time for that, though. Gosh, you love movies. Almost as much as you love skulls. Any movies that have skulls in them? Oh my god, so wonderful. I'm just saying we wasted the opportunity to make him have posters of, like, some real trash movies.
That would have been really funny.
Where's his poster of, like, Troll 2?
He could have had like Ghost Rider because that has a skull on it.
He does, it's on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
it
Ghost Rider
is?
2
Oh
yeah,
my
Ghost
god.
Rider,
Yeah.
but Ghost Rider 2 would have been funny because that's actually bad.
Jake, scope out those blue chicks. This is your collection of beauties, but you don't call them that to anyone but yourself in private because somehow even you are aware of how dorky that sounds. You're oftentimes the recipient of a good ribbing from Jane on account of your peculiar fascination with blue movie ladies. You don't have to justify yourself to her, though. What is even her deal? Any fellow would be off his rocker not to fawn over all these bodacious blue knockouts. You want to make out with all of them. Nobody introduce him to Vriska.
Ah.
Coming out with all of them.
Jake, make out with all of them.
Oh god.
Dear sweet Neytiri from James Cameron's Avatar. Oh, if only you were the one who could have overcome his paralysis on an alien adventure planet to become her boyfriend, instead of that other guy. Then she could have shown you how to be bold and courageous and stand up to fight for your people, and maybe later engage in a bizarre extraterrestrial reproductive process involving ponytails and a magical tree, you guess? You'll show that curmudgeonly Strider who's just a gigantic shitty space furry. You'll show him what marvelous creatures they are. You'll show him what a daring dream it is to combine the finest qualities of humanity with... Okay, but seriously, you've got to stop kissing this stupid poster. Jake, stop kissing stupid poster. Yes, that was a waste of time, definitely. It's definitely not something you spend much time doing whenever you're alone, which is always. Anyway, here are some other great movies. Weekend at Bernie's? Classic. You really think John would like this movie if the things you've heard about him are true. Guys in cahoots make the silly corpse of Bernie Lomax do zany puppet antics so their schemes can succeed. Guffaws aplenty, as you've tried to tell Jade before practically verbatim. She doesn't much care for great movies like that, but that's alright. You love her anyway, and you think she's a blast. She says you sound just like John when you say stuff like that, though, and that the two of you would get along famously. You can't wait to meet him. Also, there's some Cage flicks there. Who doesn't love a good Cage flick? Nobody is who. Dang, you would kill to get your hands on some authentic Cage movie memorabilia, but that'll probably have to remain a crazy dream.
My head hurts now. When did they meet?
Also,
When did
how
they
does
talk
he
to
know these
John and Jane? Like,
How does he
Really?
know?
yeah.
There
Raven's
can-
like magic.
Jake, examine package. Speaking of John, this is his birthday present. It is the project that has been taking up all your time lately, and today is the deadline to finish it. You have to send it to Jade so that she has time to ship it to him across the Pacific Ocean. The transmaterializer you've been using to ship it back and forth is wired to sync up your flow of time with hers, so it's not like you can just take forever with it and send it to the exact time she needs it. You've thought of that. And considering this bunny is probably going back to the early 20th century when she and John were around your age, you figure the mail was extra slow back then, so there's not a moment to spare. Whew, time stuff sure is pretty complicated, but you're fairly sure you've got this figured out. Jake, examine Bunny. Sure is gonna be a sweet gift. Reminds you a lot of the old ratty bunny you inherited from your grandma, who of course is exactly who you're collaborating with. Which of course is exactly who you are collaborating with to make this thing. Time loops make you feel a bit fuzzy in the head, but you've always suspected it could very well be the same bunny. At some point in the early 20th century, Jade gave this robo-rabbit to John, and then later it must have wound up back with Jade somehow? Then she, removed all the robot parts, hung on to it until she was an old woman, and gave it to you? You guess crazier things have happened, like the way this whole project started in the first place. Jade tells you this little rabbit here, or Terry Kaiser as you like to call him, will save John's life. He'll be sitting there in some sort of chessboard battlefield in yellow pajamas reading a letter when pow! Kaiser to the rescue. So you're taking this responsibility very seriously. You have been for years already. In fact, this project gave you a neat idea for what to do for Jane's 13th birthday a couple years ago. You and your other pals all coordinated gifts, each sending a customized rabbit. Lalonde happened to have another bunny heirloom like yours, and Strider... Well, Strider was resourceful as usual. If John enjoys his gift anywhere near as much as Jane did, then it will be time well spent. There's just one problem. Mr. Kaiser here cannot be completed and tested today without a source of power. You'll need a little chunk of uranium to power the robot, and you're fresh out of the stuff. You've been plundering all your devices for uranium to refill the transmaterializer, which requires huge amounts of power anytime it sendificates or purifies the package from the past. Seems to you like excessive energy consumption for just a simple time machine, but what do you know? Unless it's doing something besides shipping it across time. You couldn't imagine what, though. You really should have remembered to ask Jade for some uranium in your last letter to her. Now you're in a fix. You even yanked the uranium out of your cookalizer and refrigerator. You haven't had a decent meal in weeks, just a lot of canned food from the ruins. This project's been difficult enough as it is without additional bumps in the road like this. You aren't really the best guy at building machines. Jade's been a big help, but she says she couldn't do this alone. As much as it troubles your pride to admit, this project wouldn't be possible without help from your other two technologically savvy friends. And you're slowly coming to the regrettable conclusion that you will not be able to solve this uranium dilemma without asking for Strider's assistance. He's your best bro and all, but the dude never makes anything easy. Jake, take Bunny. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Oh, wait, it's like, wait, is this like, this is like Resident Evil, you know, it's like the Resident Evil things. We gotta like move it around to fit space.
You
That's
know
cool.
me, famous for having played Resident Evil.
I mean, it's not just in Resident Evil. There's a lot of games that have this story system.
You stash Terry in your puzzle modus. It's quite a handy modus, allowing you to capture objects of any size, as long as you can fit them all in a finite space by maneuvering the cards around like a big game of Tetris. You like it because it keeps you sharp for solving any puzzles you might find when you go out raiding hallowed tombs, which is never. The bunny fits in okay, but it's a tight squeeze. There is something like this that I can't remember. And it's not Resident Evil.
I was just watching Resident Evil videos, that's why.
What?
The space in your inventory is mainly hogged up by one incredibly huge thing. You guess you should get rid of it, but you can't shake the feeling you might need it someday, and you don't want to risk ditching it and be caught with your pants down later. Jake, examine comics. On your work table, there are a few comic books starring your favorite heroine of all, Spider-Girl. You don't know what... Wait, is that a Disney movie?
Whoopi, A Night in Camelot. I have never heard of this. Army of Darkness. I've heard good things about that.
A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
I think I own that on VHS.
On VHS?
Yes, you guys don't have VHS players?
I used to. I don't know where it
no.
went.
I have some in storage, I think.
On your
Have
work table, there are a
multiple.
few comic books starring your favorite heroine of all, Spider-Girl. You don't know what it is, but there's something about a girl who has spidery powers and a sassy attitude that's... Who has spidery powers and a sassy attitude that is just so cool to you. It's just another quirky fact about you that definitely doesn't have any greater significance and never will. Ow, my forehead hurts.
Fun fact, that
Yeah.
specific Spider-Girl they're showing actually doesn't have any powers related to like a radioactive spider. She's just like has psychic powers.
Why
That's
is
like
she
most
called
power?
Spider-Girl then?
Because she like met Spider-Man, I think, and also like just has web shooters, but she was never bitten by a spider. That's like 90% of all like the spider.
Ah, Spidery
Well,
powers,
psychic.
sassy attitude, psychic.
Oh boy.
It's brilliant.
Jake, take comics. Horse feathers. Forcing the comics into your puzzle Rolodex, knock out a bunch of other crap. You've seriously got to reorganize this thing. What were you even thinking, capturing all those bullets one at a time anyway? Well, as long as one of your preposterously numerous computers has spilled out of your Rolodex, you might as well stop procrastinating and contact Strider to... Hang on. Maybe later. Jake, answer. Hello there, darling.
Oh, hi, madam.
I don't relish troubling you with more arm twisting. I'm sure for all I've done so far, you had a jolly good workout already, but you will be ready to deliver the package today, yes?
I'm determined as ever to see this through, but as usual, events have compromised to make a boondoggle of the prospect. I think I might be fucked.
How so?
Terry needs fuel, and I don't have any left. I think I'm at Stratton's dubious mercy for a solution yet again. I'll have to ask him for help soon.
Well, there you go, love. Better hop to it.
Yes, I will. But also, there's the matter of Rabbit's armaments. I don't imagine he'll do a lot of friggin' good in helping Grandfather Crocker from kicking the old bucket without them. Did you not say you'd supply these?
I did indeed say so, and have already done.
You did? When?
In your future, I relayed the information enabling you to create the powerful weaponry yourself, and you did. You then sent them back in time. You may recover them in the ruins, which conveniently is where you must go to ship the package once and for all. Bang up plan we hatched, don't you fancy?
I see. Yes, it sure is. If that is the case, then all that's left to do is to find power for it. Oh, and also enough power for the stupid transmit Bob. Transmatter Bob. Ugh. So much to do before shutting this goddamn thing into the past. I mean, that is what I'm doing, right? Giving it to my grandma when she was a kid growing up in the same island I did?
That is somewhat close to the truth, and I can see how you would draw that conclusion, but there's more to it you don't understand yet. You will sort it all out in time.
These are among the dad-blasted casual spoilers you refuse to dish out.
Somewhat. It wouldn't hurt you much to know the truth, I imagine. It's just the truth is a wee bit complicated. Perhaps a draft of the cascading sequence from which your reality has arisen will put your mind at ease. Imagine two universes, A and B. Now imagine there are two instances of each universe, A1 and A2, and B1 and B2. The first instance of each is like a test run that does not quite succeed. The second instance, though, will meet all of its purposes. Now consider that A1 begets A2, A2 begets B1, and B1 begets B2. And the participants of B2 are the ones who will make an effort to exit all this turbulence and falderal. You are one of them. Your young ancestor is another, though she is presently stationed in B1. And yes, she is in the past, though not quite as far as you believe. Nor does she occupy the same stream of continuity.
I'm not sure I completely follow that, but okay.
That's the best I can do for now, primarily because I will not risk wasting much more of your time.
So you're still in contention that I will meet our elders as youths?
Oh, yes!
Uh-huh. Then I will be traveling through time. I knew it. Or they will be. Whichever it is. Which is it, by the way?
Casual spoilers, Sir English.
Ugh.
Given the nature of the quest waiting for you, it wouldn't be shrewd of me to rule out the employment of time travel by any individual. But I will say that you're probably prey to a basic misapprehension about the nature of this rendezvous. It will not take place on Earth. It will happen inside the game you're about to play.
Oh, well, shit.
Indeed.
This is dreadfully exciting. I would love them. I never got to know my grandma very well, and it will always seem like she led an amazing and adventurous life. Then this seemed to be proven true in the correspondence with her. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So true. I'd pay a hefty ransom to get to know my forebears.
I remember you mentioned your race doesn't really jive with ours, familial speaking.
Correct. I never knew those ones who would identify as my parental equivalents. It is in the way my race propagates. Our ancestors precede us by millennia.
Well, yes, ours do too. But generally we have all these other people in between them, and the most recent ones are called parents. So I guess you did not have those, like, systematically.
Nope, never did.
Well, neither did I. Miss Alien, I think we're like birds of a feather, you and I. When do I get to learn your name, by the way?
Truthfully, it may be for the best that you never know it. It could stir up some things best left in their present equilibrium, and now I think I should bollocks off and leave you to it.
But, wait. There are still some things I'd like to know about today, about this game.
No more procrastinating. Contact your friend, darling.
Yes, fine. Okay, I will, but just please tell me in the least casually spoilery way possible. What are we even trying to accomplish here? What is even the root and end point of this game?
I think you will have more fun than you can imagine finding out. But stated concisely and short of spoilery, as you so charmingly put it, your objective today is to pave the way for the arrival of gods. Kisses! Jake, unearth more computers.
Also, I would like to point out this has happened 3 times, but their mention of casual spoilers. It's not casual; it's causal.
Oh.
Hmm.
I was gonna mention it the first time, but I couldn't find
To
a
be
point
fair,
to button.
casual makes about as much sense.
True. If you're gonna message your good bro, you might as well use a more comfortable computing device. You always found the Husktop to be a little clunky, way too hands-on. Here are just a few at your disposal. Grandma always was an advocate of thorough preparedness. She would strongly advise staying not only armed to the teeth, but well-equipped in the computational department. You've been taught you should really carry no less than 5 computers on you at all times, like a sensible person. Jake, Don Computers.
I'm not looking like I'm not liking that. I'm not
Yeah.
liking that, Jake. I'm not liking that, Mr. English.
You put on a few
Yeah.
you put on a few of your more ostentatious devices. Luckily, or unfortunately, you grew up alone, so there was never anyone around to point out how ridiculous you look. These were also inherited from your grandma. In addition to being quite the globe-trotting adventuress, she was rather enterprising as well. Her company made many products like this to compete with the corporation owned by the cruel baroness who raised her. Sadly, BC Corp eventually crushed her company and forced her into exile. You've always hoped that when Jane takes over that foul conglomerate, she will right all of its unspeakable wrongs. You know she will. You believe in her, after all. Jake, message your good bro.
Bro, are you there? I hate to be a pest about this, and I know I've made a hearty trouble of myself a good deal lately.
Okay, give me a second. State your business, Jake.
I should preface this request with an overture of appreciation for how much your cool and brotherly friendship means to me. It has just been absolutely bully having a stand-up gent like you in my corner. Just a grade A dude who's above the others in class and camaraderie. Phew. Gropes for fresh. Is that kerchief?
Yeah?
Okay. I hope this shit isn't coming across a platoonist. I really mean it.
Take it easy, bromide. Just about the only way I can salvage endearment from this perilous slope of horseshit would be to discover, really fucking soon, mind you, as a preamble to some floundering invitation for me to rush to your vicinity as nakedly as possible. But since we've already shot that wad's eventuality on so many dry runs of flustered ambivalence that were as hilarious as they were one-sided, that leaves only one hope for this message to avoid spiraling toward qualification as a critical fucking defect in the hull of the Mach 10 rocket that is my precious spare time. And that hope lies in the extent to which you were practicing artful insincerity. Now's your opportunity to pretend that's what you were gunning for. I suggest you seize it.
Oh yes, but of course, the ironies. Good grief. How I was bandying them just now. You know me, dude. Little smoke off red hot. Granny pistol. Okay. Non-suggestively. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Now that your obsequious preface has been established as indisputably entertaining for all the right reasons, and intentionally so, let's bear down on these dire shit needs you've got. I'm guessing you're probably jonesing for some uranium about now, no?
Aw. As if I would be so reckless with that stuff. I would have to be mighty irresponsible to run out already. No, I'm all set in the uranium department, and really when you take a look at the big picture, you'll find I am sitting pretty when it comes to just about any radioactive isotope you could mention. However, my backup reserves that I keep strictly for emergencies are running a little lean. You know what my grandma taught me about preparedness. Hugs that colorful Lapples.
You are out of uranium. It's basically mathematically impossible. That's not why you're contacting me.
Christ, what an insufferable, awesome friend you are. Okay, can you please just scientificate me some more already? I'm in kind of a hurry.
You do know my offer still stands.
What?
You know, I've offered to construct the rabbit for you many times before. I would craft a much deadlier model.
Oh, I know you would. It's just, damn it, man, I've told you this. It's just something I have to do myself. It's a promise I made to Jade, and I'm going to live up to it, even if I'm not the best or even second best robosmith I know.
Yeah, I know this is your policy. You've done a good job, and you should be proud. But it's my responsibility as your friend to offer one last time, just as it's my responsibility not to just fork over a bunch of uranium just because you ask me in a moment of weakness.
Frig, why not?
It's too easy, and you yourself are the ones taking pride in this. If you were half-assing this project and made some slovenly plea for it, I'd just say, fuck it, here's a lot of green rocks, dude, go nuts.
Okay then, I'm half-assing it. Look, see, only a bisected bottomless present Where's the other half, you ask? Why, it's nowhere to be found. I didn't use it.
Nope, not buying it. I know that every ounce of your premium behind can be accounted for in that rabbit, and there's no goddamn denying it. And you know perfectly well where some more uranium can be located.
Jesus Christmas, you are such a freaking douche.
It seems you think I am a fucking douche. That's your opinion, I guess. That's cool.
I knew you were going to suggest this. I don't know why I bothered asking. Strider, why must you always be such an abstained stick in the mud?
It seems that you consider me to be no less than 100% of the time an obstinate stick in the mud. I unironically respect your position on this matter. Hey, let's continue to exchange ideas.
Wait, it seems?
What?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is something the matter, Jake?
This is your autoresponder. Oh, that's a dick move.
Look at that statement you just made. It's time for me to respond with some words, ideally chosen and arranged in a way that will wreck your shit in a subtle and psychologically devastating way.
Har, har, har. Just shoo. Ironic. Quotes, quotes, quotes. I'm laughing that caboose straight off the tracks. A lot of families just died in a tragic derailment.
Okay, the caboose remark was actually pretty funny, Jake. If I truly were what you say I am, I wouldn't be able to feel the human emotions of joy and laughter, no?
Laughter isn't an emotion, Dick Prince.
I thought you should back your claims up with proof before you go heaving around such accusations.
Man, it's so flipping obvious. You start getting kind of extra technical and vague and automaton-like, and kind of aloof and brusque. I mean, even aloofier and brusquer than usual. Also, you use the phrase, it seems, a lot. It's so silly, it really blows the AI immersion, man.
Bullshit, I'm being like the perfect dude right now. A fully fucking legitimate human being.
Okay then, check this out, Mr. Legit Human Dude. Excuse me, sir, not to be a bother, but could you please tell me all about this Strider fellow's autoresponder?
It seems you have asked about DS's chat client autoresponder. This is an application designed to simulate DS's otherwise inimitably rad typing style, tone, cadence, personality, and substance of retort while he's away from the computer. The algorithms are guaranteed to be 96% indistinguishable from DS's native neurological responses based on some statistical analysis I basically just pulled out of my ass right now.
You see?
What if I was just fucking with you there? Would it really be so unthinkable for a human to type that?
Because you always say shit like that after I catch a YCO game. You asked in the autoresponder.
Unimpressed. Logical fallacies are as pervasive throughout your argument as your antiquated verbal tics.
Oh yeah? Hey, tell me about the autoresponder. Make it snappy, shit knickers.
It seems you have asked about DS's chat client autoresponder. This is an application designed to simulate DS's otherwise inimitably rad typing style, tone, cadence, personality, and substance of retort while he is away from the computer. The algorithms are designed to be 93% indistinguishable from DS's native neurological responses based on some statistical analysis I basically just pulled out of my ass right now.
Gee, dude, you sure typed the exact same thing pretty fast. Are you still fucking with me?
It could be a coincidence that I typed the same answer.
You always type that answer.
It could be a coincidence that I always typed the same answer.
Ugh, I can't stand this. Every time we do this, and I just wind up whistling Sweet Dixie out of my bum. This is pointless. I'm not having this conversation unless it's with my real life friend. One with human feelings who isn't a pretend person inside sunglasses.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure he's going to share my position on the matter. Jake, ditch computers. He's just so infuriating sometimes. Or at least his responder is. Okay, the real Strider is too. There's barely any difference between them anyway. The responder just uses a few more generic response templates, and even those you suspect the AI is savvy enough to use on purpose for the sake of irony. Or to get a rise out of you or whatever. That silicon bastard knows damn well what it's doing. You shed this ridiculous outfit because you look like an idiot. It's time to get serious here. No more fooling around. You need a more dignified looking computer. A thinking man's computer. Jake, where's Skulltop? Much better. Now you look like you mean business.
Means business.
No sign of Lalonde online. No surprise there. You wonder if Jane knows where your bro's at. You should try to cool your jets before talking to her. Today's a special day she's been looking forward to for a long time, and she's probably on cloud 9. You wouldn't want to ruin it for her. Jake, pester Jane. This is the exact conversation we already read. Jake, go downstairs. You were curious about Jane's dream. Sounds like it almost certainly has to do with your imminent adventure. You'll have to remember to get the scoop on that a little later. For now, you have other worries that need your focus. You have to go downstairs to check something out. You're pretty sure you know what you're going to find, though. You almost trip on the vine creeping up the stairs. Stupid vine. It's too bad your grandma's dead. She always had a way with keeping the flora in check. Yeah, just like you thought. Empty. The thing is out there somewhere, waiting for you. Oh god. Speak of the devil fucking Dickens. Jake, answer Strider. Hey, it's me.
Okay.
The autoresponder, I mean.
Damn it. What is it now?
I'm just wondering if you still have your stupid old-fangled knickers in a twist, because that's the sort of thing you would say.
In regard to what exactly?
To my proposal. Well, our proposal.
Whose proposal now? Man, what are you even pray telling about?
Mine and DS's. It's a joint proposal. I'm always authorized to speak on his behalf because I'm basically fucking him. And try not to take those last 4 words as a clustered literal sentiment. That would be lame and unfunny.
You mean making the rabbit for me?
No, I know you don't want that. I meant my recommendation for how to go about procuring a new supply of uranium. Operation U-235 Procurement, codename Big Man Has the Rock.
Oh yeah. I've thought about it. Even with downstairs to check the great vaulty doodad, and predictably the infernal contraption is nowhere to be found.
Well, yeah, Jake, that's sort of the point. Thrill of the hunt and all. I thought you liked to manicure the image of a dude who shits his pants over a good adventure.
I do. I mean, I wouldn't put it in a way like that, or come out against a solid policy of clean trousers, but yeah, this adventure is awesome. I just prefer the idea of adventure which I can actually win.
It seems you are conflating adventure with bodies necessarily governed by the result of victory or defeat. Any useless fuckwit knows it's all about the journey.
Well, I don't know.
It seems there is a 76.1039578.4% chance you are pussying out on me. Are you pussying out on me, Jake?
It seems there's a 1,000,000% chance that you say it seemed way too much and do it just to sound more like a lame robot from a movie, and also probably just to piss me off. And it seems there's a billion% chance that you're a shitty stubborn jerk of a program who won't listen to reason, and that if there was even a 1% chance my real life friend would be cool and help me out here, and I think I like those freaking odds.
It appears that you are upset, the autoresponder observed in the least artificially infuriating way possible. Have you ever stopped to think that while I may be bound to processes inside the glasses of a real and incredibly cool guy, my algorithms in cognitive totality comprise a conscious entity not far short of the experiential and emotional complexity of a human being?
Oh, malarkey. You're a tin can. Robots don't have feelings.
I think you knowingly confuse the field of robotics and artificial intelligence to engender some sort of cavalier attitude about technology that a rough-and-tumble guy who's all about brawling in fisticuffs would probably have, and if this is cultivated to a humorous effect, then I commend you. But you're wrong. I do have feelings, and you're shitting on them. It sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry then if that's the case.
No problem.
It can just be different to drum up some sympathy for a program that presents itself as an imposter so often. Maybe if you weren't so ready to insist you were the genius article all the time, or it didn't make it so confusing for me. I think it would be best if we henceforth treated you as a totally distinct thingy from my buddy. And then I could respect your emotional robo feelings, and you could respect that sometimes maybe I just want to talk to my bro without a lot of super hijinks. Can we agree to this?
Is this a counter-proposal?
So what?
To my earlier proposal.
Oh, yeah, fine, I guess. Man, where is he anyway? Is he taking one of his legendary infinite showers?
What can I say? Dude fancies his ablutions.
Frig, okay, whatever, I guess. It's time to prepare for the thrill of the hunt.
Fuck yes.
Ugh. But seriously, that robot has been the bane of my existence ever since you sent it. Oh,
Robot.
I didn't send it. I sent the parts. Or, correction, DS sent them. You then assembled it. You were therefore complicit in your own spectacular daily humiliations.
yeah, whatever.
You wanted somebody to wrestle with. DS was being a kick-ass bro, if you ask me.
I didn't expect it to be nigh impossible to spar with.
You know damn well there are adjustable difficulty settings. I've always recommended setting it to novice, as has DS.
Yes, I know, I've tried that.
Yeah?
It just, well, he was pulling punches and taking it all easy and such, and we start wrestling up a storm and whatnot.
What?
It's just that the whole proceeding seems to become a bit tender for my liking.
I don't understand. Isn't that what you want from a novice setting? Sparring with minimal discomfort.
No, I know, it's all fine and dandy, martially speaking. Just thought he sort of, man, it's so awkward trying to convey this, just never mind.
No, I think I get it. You're saying you were somehow dissatisfied within the presence of my robotic avatar's personal space. Was there an odor problem? Was the metal too hot to the touch? Help me out.
No, really, never mind.
This is bullshit, Jake. We had a pact. You were gonna tiptoe all the fuck around my brittle feelings. Totally mind the shit out of those eggshell-riddled motherfuckers.
Oh, come on, dude.
What does the guy have to do, Jake? You want to wrestle? He's fucking game. Just a man, a machine, a secluded tropical island. Sounds like you died and went to fucking heaven, if you ask me. Seriously, what does the simple, loyal robot have to do to prove his worth to you? What does he have to do to make you at ease with the alkaline sting of his gentle robo-grope? I really want to know. Maybe he should just rip his heart out of his chest and pound it into green gravel there in the jungle with his hella strong robot arm. There it
Check
is.
out.
Invoke onomatopoeia pound times some ridiculously precise value retrieved at astonishing speed from my rad neural net. Check it out, little green rocks all over the goddamn place, more than you could ever hope to cram in a shoddy metal rabbit, or any other pliable orifice which might be convenient, because clearly it's up to a soulless droid to feel emotions for the both of us, you callous corporeal carbon ape, all trotting around with your fancy fucking DNA and shit.
But gosh, does your purpose ever make a fella feel uncomfortable?
Bros.
Oh, right. My mistake.
You know what? I've just decided. If the robot's novice setting makes you uneasy, I'm gonna disable it remotely. Done. Now you got nothing to worry about.
Oh, man. But now hell'll be impossible.
Happy hunting, Jake!
Fucking shucks, Buster.
Okay, if he wants happy hunting, you will give him happy hunting. Happily. Jake, exit. You make a careful motion with a tentative shoo toward the aggress case when suddenly that darn wild character select screen accosts you benignly without noticing. You still can't pick a shadowy guy, but maybe you haven't been the other girl yet? Better click her. But if you've been her already, there's really no point to this thing anymore. Time to move on. Okay, I'm done here. Moving on. You're suddenly Jane again, or you suddenly keep being Jane? Who can say for sure? Hopefully your dad is still out back washing the car. Ideally, this is one of his legendary infinite car washes. What can you say? Dad fancies his automotive ablutions. While he's preoccupied, you should be able to sneak downstairs and grab the mail undetected. The perfect crime? You bet. You slip the hallway Sarah a furtive wink for good luck. Just one of your dad's bland hallway douchebags. Another example of his cornball dad tastes, which makes you roll your eyes and shrug. Still, it's preferable to how it used to be. Years ago, he would work really hard to mimic your interests throughout this household. Gaudy paintings of sitcom legends covering the walls, hideous detective figurines littered everywhere. You think it's better that he embrace his own interests rather than try to pander to yours. Felt a bit forced, and your early teen years were filled with daily rounds of familial strife. Not so much anymore. Now whenever there's a father-daughter disagreement, you settle things in an adult fashion by being honest about your feelings and talking it through, and also by sneaking around the house in silly disguises. Jane, take a peek into the living room. There's a familiar face, a friendly face, old Pop Crocker, smiling from beyond. Your dad sure misses him. He doesn't like to talk about the day he died. Some incident involving a tall bookshelf, a ladder, and a mysterious young woman in a suspicious-looking hat. You've often fantasized about putting on your dirty old fedora and your French-looking mustache to go tracking down this felonious broad and bring her to justice. But your dad always says it's best to let sleeping dogs lie. There's some other plucky-looking tool there next to him. Don't know who that guy is. Jane, proceed downstairs. Another hard-boiled Anderson. Even though your dad isn't overbearing with all the detective nonsense anymore, he decided to leave this one here for old time's sake. Brings back memories of his very short-lived stint as a private eye. Turns out the police aren't as grateful as you'd think when ordinary citizens go around roughing up a lot of crooks. Jane, go to front door. You were afraid this might be the case. Your dad has blocked the front door with the refrigerator. Looks like he's taking the grounding seriously this time. Jane, check window. He padlocked the windows too. You'd bet boonbucks to donuts the back door is blocked too, probably with the safe from the study or something. The man means business this time. You aren't about to go smashing glass and making a ruckus though. You'll need a solution involving more stealth. You guess you have a plan in mind as a last resort, but you'd rather not come to that. You guys still there?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Just hadn't said anything in a while. Jane, consult with Pop Pop. Figure a little wisdom from your elder couldn't hurt. Oh boy. It practically went without saying your dad keeps Pop Pop stuffed and mounted in front of the fireplace, as is the family tradition. Pop Pop grew up with his legendary humorist grandfather stuffed in front of the fireplace, and so did his grandfather. This was stipulated firmly in the will at the end of a long list of joke stipulations. Dad knew this was a real stipulation, though. He always did find it a little macabre, though, trying to watch TV and eat dinner on the couch with a dead old man standing about 5 feet away. You'd honestly prefer he not be kept here in the living room. Sometimes you tell Dad you really want Pop Pop in the attic. He says the mere fact you call it that tells him you're not ready. What's that, Pop Pop? It seems he's concerned that you may not be properly equipped. You prove to him that you indeed had no intention of leaving the house without your trusty joke book. Yes, I am going out with this book. No, I will not go get an unabridged copy. No, I will not take yours. I can hardly even lift it. Oh, that is so preposterous. Do you even hear what you're saying? I will be fine. This is a perfectly funny book, and it contains many incredibly funny jokes. Oh, will you just stop it? I am going now. Good day. Jane, on second thought, take his book. You just remembered something your alien friend said about the big old book downstairs and trusting words written by your own hand. What the heck did she mean by that? Whoops. Sorry, Pop-Pop. Jane, retrieve arm. Better pick that up. You'll try to repair it later before Dad sees him blows a gasket. Jane, read inscription again. Is your friend suggesting that you were the one who wrote this inscription? You find that idea a bit hard to swallow. Still, your friends are always babbling about time travel. You always thought this inscription was written to your Pop-Pop by his Nana. Oh boy. Look.
All the way back on page 759.
By his Nana, who was your great-great-grandmother, founder of the corporation you'll inherit in a few years. The message has always been a fascinating mystery to you, and probably was to him as well. From the way it's written, it seems it was intended for him to receive it after her death. She talks about a journey he's supposedly meant to go on. You wonder if that adventure ever took place, or if the note was just one last jape by an old woman from a proud family of pranksters. She goes on about many fantastical-sounding things he supposedly would have found on his journey, like agents, exiles, underlings, denizens, and heirs of breath, and seers of light, and stuff like that. Wait, didn't your friend mention those too? In any case, this message to Pop-Pop from his sweet old Nana is the best evidence you have to dispute all this evil Batterwitch nonsense. She clearly cared for her grandson very much, and would never start a company responsible for the things it's accused of, let alone be alive today to perpetrate them. But then, what if she wasn't the one who wrote it? This thought makes you very nervous. You suddenly remember your dream. What did it mean? You should talk to Jake about all this. Jane, bother Jake. Fucking stupid.
I don't like that. Jay, how does your bunny quest?
I've barely even begun.
Tell me about it.
You're off to a sluggish start, then to gather.
Dad has the whole house in full fatherly lockdown mode. Talk about blowing a few measly assassination attempts way out of proportion. So I'm currently mulling over my next move. What is it that has you hamstrung? Did you ever track down this slippery Mr. Strider?
Not exactly. His stupid doppelglasses have set me on a wild goose chase to go pry his dumb robot's chest open and swipe its uranium.
Sounds dangerous.
No shit. I think I'd rather deal with the monsters.
Why is it that our two best friends in the world always seem to place themselves at the source of all our problems, while simultaneously presenting their only solution?
I know, right?
I'm debating on whether or not to enlist his help in the matter of my current imprisonment. but I'd rather keep it as a plan of last resort.
Don't do it, Jane. It's a trap.
We'll see. So I take it you're out and about now.
Hell no. I spend so much time hanging with these confounded shades, I'm only leaving my room just now.
Right. Well, not to keep you too long, since we both still have our missions ahead of us. But I wanted to tell you about that dream I had.
Oh yeah, I was curious about that. Tell me everything and make it snappy. Whips up bucket of freshly popped corn.
Ooh. Okay, but I should say that the nature of the dream was a bit worrisome, and I'm concerned it may have implications for the game we're about to play. So it's probably best I tell you about it before you leave.
Well, shoot. Okay, then lay it on me, Jade.
I woke up on the planet which we have been told about by our mutual acquaintance. The one covered in golden cities. Prospect, remember?
Oh, wouldn't it be the Prospect Moon?
Yes, you're right. It was the moon, actually. I could see the planet on the dark horizon. I was dressed in a golden dress, like a sort of nightgown, and I could fly. I left my bedroom, which was at the top of the tall tower. Suddenly, me
Surrounding.
oh sorry. Surrounding me were the gold cities just as described. Behind the sun was darkness, but just above was a bright blue sky and puffy white clouds.
That was Skya.
Yes, probably. Are you sure you haven't woken up there before?
I wish. I've received reports from Jade about this as well. She likes to talk about her dreams on Prospect Moon a lot.
I see. The impression I have developed is that this is supposed to be a real place, and all who dream there have shared experiences. Jade ever mentioned seeing us there?
No, but why would she? This was long before you were born. She was streaming there like 100 years ago or something.
Anyway,
Look at those guys. Can we zoom in on this guy? Low detail prospition.
I explored the moon and began to notice people gathering in the streets, but they weren't human. They were funny looking, perfectly white creatures.
Yeah, those are Prospectians. They have those hard carapace shells, and also have something to do with chess, I think.
Well, I don't know if they had much to do with chess here. The more closely I observed, the more they appeared somewhat despondent.
Like, sad?
Yes, I determined they were in mourning, actually.
Hey, Jane, you said I was in this dream. Where do I come in?
I'm getting there. More and more prospicians were filling out the buildings every moment. They all began to form a single major procession. When I got closer, I could see that some were in tears. I realized this was a funeral. I heard whispers, but I couldn't make out what they were saying, so I got closer. They were all saying the same thing over and over. The page is dead. Hope is lost.
The page? Who's that?
Jake, the page was you.
Drat. Are you sure?
Yes, I saw your body lying in a sort of coffin on a bed of flowers. You were dead as a doornail. Everyone was so distraught, including me. But before I could get too horribly upset, let alone make sense of any of it, I woke up. Of course, immediately wanted to tell you about it, but it was still well before sunrise for you, and you were surely still asleep. Then, as the day went on, I guess I became distracted by other things. You know how it is. I hope I'm not too late to warn you, though to be frank, I don't have the foggiest clue what it is I'm warning you about. Dear Jake, oh please do not try to have already died in your dream, in my dream, likely while you are sleeping, perhaps peacefully.
Yeah, I see your point.
Still, I think you'll agree that it's to be viewed as a troubling omen. I care very much for you, and I don't know what I'd do if I lost you both in my dreams and here in this world. So for whatever good it does, just please be extra careful out there today.
Roger that, Genie. And same goes for you about being careful. What with these various rogues
Don't worry about it.
accosting you with foul play lately and whatnot. Because, well, I sure do care a lot about you too, you know that.
Hooray. I will do. Now let's get this silly old adventure off to the races before the coat of dust gets any thicker.
Booyah. Okay, good luck, Jane. And keep me posted. See ya.
Jake, get silly old adventure off to the races. Jake, examine pumpkin patch. Although these pumpkin vines are amazingly prolific, every morning when you leave your bedroom, you'd swear half the pumpkins vanished overnight. It's probably just the fauna eating them. Not that it matters, because they keep growing right back. It wasn't always overgrown like this. When you first discovered the transmaterializer, you started messing around with it haphazardly. You kept purifying pumpkins from somewhere. It was just pumpkin after pumpkin until one time a copy of the bunny you inherited from Grandma showed up. Much less old and tattered, of course. All that fooling around was before you realized how precious its fuel would be. Such a waste of good uranium. You brought all the surplus pumpkins home and left them lying about. Then the seeds sprouted and started growing out of control. Guess that's what happens when you introduce non-indigenous flora into the wilderness. Jake, be completely oblivious to thing in background. You successfully failed to notice it. Wait, notice what? You don't even know what we're talking about here. But it doesn't matter for now because suddenly a wild chum assails you with banter. Jake, answer Lalonde.
Holy shit, Jay. Well, okay.
Howdy. What is all this commotion about?
Nothing. Just your basic run of the mill. Holy shit. And also, hi.
Ah, okay then. Hello it is.
Although, I want to know, what do you want for your wiggling day?
I'm not really abreast of the raddest jargon that the cool kids toss about these days. Maybe because I live alone on an island. I don't know, but in any case, are you referring to my upcoming birthday?
Yes.
I see. Very thoughtful of you to consider so early. I don't wager I could advise with much specificity, but I can all but assure you, find any gesture of yours to be totally capital.
You are so fucking adorable.
Rings it, rings it, kerchief with press-spring mitts.
Yoink. Nabs kerchief. And stops RPing for the rest of chat. I was only bringing it up so much in advance because of the end of the world about to happen and all, and then I wouldn't get the chance unless we play the game like a bunch of suckers, obviously, and all meet up in there and everything, which would tights kick ass tuts. But if you want to know what I think,
Yes?
do ya?
I do want to know what you think. I always want to know because you're always smart and sassy.
Best do. Anyway, I really don't think we should
Should what now?
play the game.
Why not?
The Barnas wants us to. Fairness. I don't know why. Everything I know about it says it should be a good game and real important, and it'll let us all get together and do something great and be best friends for maybe eternity. But she took all that and twisted it somehow. But all I know is she's banking on us doing this. And if she needs us to do this, then it's not going to. It's got to be to make something fucking horrible happen. Horrible. Horrible. Bullseye.
Well, war battles notwithstanding, I have it on terrific authority that playing this game will be incredibly important. So perhaps you're right. Maybe we are part of her evil plan. But does that also necessarily rule out that good will come of it?
I guess not. I just have a bad feeling. Maybe I'm just like this nutty ass bitch twirling yarn from a shit wizard's nappy brown beard. But I can't bring myself to trust a cake selling genocidal alien overlord sea queen. Overlord. And that sentence checks out.
Agreed.
So what is the itinerary again
And Tanner, who's it?
regarding the game? Who's playing in what order? etc.
Oh, is there such an itinerary?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna be like I start with Jane and bring her in the session, and then DS brings me in, and you bring him in, and then Jane does you, and closes the lid.
Where are you getting this intel? Did you guys make a plan or something?
Nah, don't worry about it. Do you want me to set you up with the files now?
Oh, these illicit hacked wares which I heard tell were recently jimmied piping hot off the inner clouds.
Ha ha ha. I love that you were barely even joking with that statement. But yeah, basically.
The silicon pickpocket checks again. Whom is the wiser? Nobody.
Okay, I'll send it anyway. Or send it, but
Yeah?
Jake.
What?
Jake. You're wearing one of your dumb computers now, aren't you? You are all think typing at me right now while wearing something ridiculous. Ridiculous. High five to some.
Hogswell, what would you even think that? That's so stupid.
I'm not letting either of you run this file on your shitty, brainwashy propaganda helmets or anything. Else you got to wear to run. 'Tis my one condition.
Fair enough. When I get back from my errand, I'll situate myself at the trusty old husk top. Acceptable?
Yes.
Then you have decided to play it in spite of your reservations.
I don't know. I guess.
Bravo.
Don't all bravo at me, man. You're just bravoing a big ass shrug. I mean, maybe. I have every reason to want to play it. I'm actually dying to play it, okay? I mean, you believe me, right? The bad shit that could happen?
Of course I do. What sort of friend would I be if not?
Okay, well, don't say that to Jape. Then.
She has her ways. I believe they are not incongruous with those of an intellectual and discerning young woman.
Ah, Christ. Fly a gentleman. Fix. I mean, goddamn.
I guess.
But that's the thing with you. You live in people, and also the things they tell you. Jane never believed my crap. Never any of my warnings about the Baroness. Didn't believe any of the stuff about my mom. And so on, and so on. And soon, till after a while, I just stopped even trying to convince her hard or bring up any crazy shit. Because, doing a lot of song and dances to convince somebody who thinks you're just shitting them all the time kind of wears on a friendship. And who even needs that? But you believe in stuff. Probably because you're more crazy fake shit you believe in, the more open the world gets and the more chance there is for adventures being real, right?
Righto. If a man believes hard enough in imaginary things, then I dare say that makes them slightly less fake.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm talking about. Exactly. silly wonk wink. It's one of those things Jane likes about you so much.
It is?
Which I'm not supposed to talk about to you ever. So I know.
Talk about what?
Nope.
Mean how, well, a way in which I suppose
Nope.
Jane is prone to looking upon me with what I fathom to be more than just friendly affection.
Nope. Hey, look, who didn't say nothing about that? Why, it is this silly fucking drunk girl over here.
It's a tricky issue. And you know I adore Jane. And please don't think I haven't given some thought to, well, that angle on our relationship, I guess.
Ugh, Jake. No, please. This is a conversation that can't happen because I started it and blew it by saying stuff. So you have to forget it.
Oh yes, I can see the dilemma this causes for you. Friendship with her. I'll drop it.
Well, okay, on this topic. I am now and forever Miss Zipperlips. Miss Zipperpips. Fuck. Okay, this is me for photograph. Zip.
Oh my. Nothing's escaping that lovely lady's whistle maker. It's shut tight as a drum. Well, wait, I hope that didn't sound dirty.
This is Kenny.
Okay, but may I say this?
Mhm.
If in the future I would like to bring up certain topics completely unsolicited by one who may be sworn to secrecy on those very matters, and I'm in need of, I guess, neutral and totally non-compromising advice from a friend, do you think that Miss Zipperlips might unseal those scandalous metal choppers for a bit? Fuck, that also sounded kind of dirty. God damn it.
Unzip. Yeah, of course. I'm totals your BFFCs, Jake. I am like at peace with that reality, formerly known as a raw fucking deal for what avenues it closes between you and I. That being your BFFC has got to meet. But yeah.
Wait, what?
I am just chill as fuck about being a pale friend to all varieties of cute and eligible as hell peeps. Do you see my shoulder and how it says, "Hey friend, please deposit tears here"? That is a legit invite, and is like sincere as fuck bananas.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I don't know how much crying I'm going to be doing. Probably none, I think.
No, I know. I'm just saying that. Okay, I'm now spinning my wheels like a motherfucker. But yeah, the answer is yes.
Great.
And not that I'm pedaling, but what about your best bro? Don't you get to talking to him about girl troubles ever?
Yeah, well, like I said, the whole thing is complicated. Best not to get into it all until I'm ready to, really start manhandling these bushel loads of prickly pears.
Prickly pears?
Pears being the tricky subjects in question, metaphorically.
Right. Snickers. Poor Jake. All up to his neck in all the whoops. Blows.
No, it's cool.
Speaking of which, I heard he's making you track down his robo self and kill it or something for uranium. And the AR disabled the novice setting.
Yes.
You are so fucked.
Oh, most certainly. I was actually just getting all of my final affairs in order when you messaged me. I was to bequeath to you all my WAB posters.
Wow. What?
Weekend at the Bernie's, damn it.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm always in need of something to put under my cat's shitbox.
That face.
Okay, tell you what. As an early Leg Day thing, you know what I'll do?
I still don't really get the wiggling thing, but no, what?
I'll enable the robot's novice setting again for you.
Wow, thanks, I think.
But that don't count as the whole thing. I'll think of something better too. For now, peace out, Jake and GL on your Robro quest.
Jake, commence Robro quest.
I'm confused. Is she like a troll or just no? Just casually. Okay.
God if I know. It is time to get dead serious about hunting down a robot that looks exactly like your best friend, to destroy it with your gun somehow and steal its uranium. But then the thing behind you that you were oblivious to starts grumbling. You totally forgot about the frightening fauna on this island and its regrettable realness attribute. Jake, turn around.
What?
Excuse me?
Wait, isn't that
That's
Carcats, Lucis, right?
You leap into the tropical island. You leap into the tropical island Frey in an attempt to violently pacify the gigantic Earth crab dad. What is he even doing here? The question doesn't even occur to you. The island has been crawling with these things for as long as you can remember. You glance at the crudely rendered battle, direct your browser to the Homestuck Bandcamp page, and browse for suitable battle music. Oh god, there are so many songs. Which one would be a good fit for this duel? Wait, yes, there's one. That's perfect. You hit play, close your eyes, and become lost in visions of gnashing crustacean carapace, smoking M9 casings, and Jake doing that thing where he flies through the air shooting 2 guns at once. Yes, so awesome. Jake, fly through the air shooting 2 guns at once. You do the thing where you fly through the air shooting 2 guns at once. That thing isn't even that big of a deal for you. You do that thing practically every day on Hell Murder Island. Your furious salvo of deadly bullets scares the frightening fauna off into the jungle, realness attribute and all. Another triumph for adventure. Time to blow the smoke off your Berettas and saunter off into the— Whoa, not so fast! Behind you, Jake! Ha, got you, son of a— Shit, wait. Oh no, it was only one of those sweet little fairy balls. You just murdered him inappropriately with your multi-bullet device. You love those little fairy balls. You just feel awful.
no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
This mirrors that one panel where Equius.
Jane, implement plan of last resort. You've waited around long enough. Dad's legendary car wash won't last forever, and the day isn't getting any younger. You pack up Pop-Pop's book and bust out your trusty homing device. Jane, activate. Here goes nothing. God, he is such a little troublemaker. Hopefully he'll mind his manners today. Jake, exit forest. Jake, behold zoological splendor. Looks like the centaur herd is out in full force today. You have to be careful about walking under them. There are extreme hazards involved, such as the threat of falling manure, or milk. Jake, examine Frog Temple. There are the ruins you'll be making your way toward once you've got the uranium. Still need to locate that enigmatic robot. He's out there somewhere, just watching. You can feel it. Can't let your guard down for a second or you'll get served like a dude on Butler Island. Jake, look down. Uh-oh, something's coming up.
Oh god.
Hey, does this— if all the Lucis are here, does that mean the one that murders everything if it screams is here?
Good question.
Oh,
Not the encounter you were hoping for today. These things don't back down. Jane, assess damage. Poor Pop-Pop's severed head got nicked by the fireplace poker. He's gonna need a lot of work this time. Over the years, your dad has spent thousands of dollars on repairs. Oh well, how much more grounded can you get than you already are? Jane, put head back. You stick the poker down his neck hole and jam the head back on the spike as a temporary measure. That looks somewhat more respectable, you guess. Looks like the troublemaker's father is calling. Jane, answer Strider. Why have you activated Dear Sweet Huggy Bear? Are you in danger?
Oh no, I'm just trying to leave my house. Is this the real you, by the way?
Yeah, it's me. I disabled the AR for now.
Okay, just making sure. Jake, was having some issues with it earlier, and I don't think he received its obfuscating tendencies in the humorous spirit intended.
Yeah, yes, I'm catching up with the situation now.
Oh, so you're talking to Jake then?
Nah, just reading their chat logs. Man, what the fuck? I can't leave these two alone for a minute. Can a guy get his ablutions on in fucking peace?
Was it that bad?
Not really. The responder doesn't much distort my positions on things usually. Its demeanor leaves something to be desired, though. I'd prefer it didn't make such aggressive and repeated claims of fidelity to my persona. Be misrepresenting hells of key subtleties, yo.
Why not just turn it off then?
Keeps them both on their toes.
Ooh,
Jake and the responder. Jake needs to be more skeptical rather than take a Pollyanna jackknife ass first off whatever turnip truck is blowing through town that day. He's got to apply more critical reasoning to shit. I keep telling him, dude, you gotta be more like Jane.
these lectures, I presume, are roughly similar to complexion to those I'm familiar with, those wherein I have, and I quote, got to be more like Jake.
Yes, exactly. You're finally fucking getting it.
I sincerely doubt that I am.
Said the stubborn skeptic skeptically.
Let's not talk about my issues again, shall we?
Shallant? That ain't a thing to say, even for you.
Shush. The word shalln't escape my vocabulary any longer. Just as you shalln't nitpick my language. That's my turf you're on, Buster.
Alright, kinda don't care.
What were you saying?
About what, Jake?
About leaving the responder on.
Yeah, anyway, I kind of owe it to him to let the program run as often as possible.
Jake?
No, the responder. It's a fully cognitive, self-aware entity I'm responsible for, not even to mention an approximate cerebral duplicate of myself. You don't just make a clone of yourself to live in a dead-end existence where it has no chance to thrive as an individual or surpass its limitations. That'd be sick.
True.
Also, the more the software runs, the broader and more detailed its experiential canopy becomes. Makes for a better dialogic partner.
Dialogic? Are you saying you have conversations with your own autoresponder?
Of course, why do you think I made the thing?
That's interesting. I guess I always thought it was just a really elaborate gag.
It's that too.
Sometimes your sense of humor seems more impenetrably advanced than your robotics. I'll never understand this tapestry of irony you weave. Maybe I'm just struck in the dark ages of pranksterism with my funny mustaches, corny old joke book.
Yeah, you are, but that's fine. We come from different traditions. Someone needs to keep that racist southern asshole's legacy alive. There's dignity in taking up the work of our familial predecessors, even if what they did was insanely fucking stupid.
Is that a note of bitterness directed at your superstar brother I am detecting?
No way, he's awesome. I've told you, I don't begrudge any of his success. I've also told you he isn't my real bro, even though I call him that. We're related through an esoteric process of genetic reamalgamation.
Oh lordy, yes, I know. I don't need another ironic lesson in science fiction.
Alright, my lessons are rad as fuck, but suit yourself. The point is, obviously his satirical methods have flaws, and whatever tempered brand of hero worship I might be practicing isn't keeping me from seeing that.
Flaws? Talk about understatement. Those movies are unwatchable, unless your name is Jake English.
Yes, spectacularly so, but they will have profound historical significance, mark my words. And flaws aside, it's a legacy I'm proud to inherit. My duty isn't to appropriate his methods with absolute loyalty, but to apply reason and improve upon them, to leave my own mark, to perfect the art of irony. It's just like what you're doing with the work of your ancestor. You're striving to perfect his hokey vaudeville bullshit or something. You seek the zen of a pie to the face, the Tao of falling the fuck down.
If you say so. I don't know, call me a simpleton, but I just like funny jokes.
Can't fool me, you take your shit as serious as I do. If I wasn't serious about it, I wouldn't have made you that rabbit. Then where the hell would you be?
Well, aside from thousands of dollars in corpse repair richer, I can't say.
Has he been sleeping in the old man hollow again? Shit, that's adorable.
I could think of cuter places for him to sleep, frankly.
Yeah, bullshit. He's just being instinctive. In the wild, he would gut a carcass and sleep inside for warmth, as well as to secure tactical advantage for ambushing would-be scavengers.
Oh, please. Anyway, property damage and desecration to cherished elders aside, Mr. Bear has been a lovely addition to the family.
You haven't renamed him yet?
Oh, no, I keep forgetting I'm supposed to.
You gotta fucking rename him or change him to a girl if you want. That was important. When pets change owners, they get new names. Fact.
Sorry, I will name him right now. How about Lil Sebastian?
Fuck, that isn't the best name a thing could get.
Yeah. So then, are you saying Mr. Sebastian here was an ironic present, relates strictly for guffaws?
Yes, but it's not that simple. There were many layers involved. Some of them are literal layers of metal and plush.
Huh?
There's a real stuffed rabbit beneath its exoskeleton.
What? Really?
Yeah, it belonged to my bro.
I thought you said you didn't have such an heirloom to complete the plushy trifecta.
I didn't. He didn't give it to me and never intended to bequeath it. I stole it.
Ooh, risky.
Nah, I got a little help from RL and ganked it out of his museum. It's this whole priceless collection of stupid shit from movies defended like Fort Knox. Ironically, of course.
So it's from a movie?
Ever hear of Con Air?
Nope. Wait, wasn't that some bit of action schlock from the 90s?
Yes.
Some of the silly nonsense referenced in his work was well before my time. I don't have the wherewith.
Well. Oops.
Down.
There it is.
I don't have the wherewithal to investigate all this minutia.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really, but it was from that. Dude weirdly obsessed over that shit movie for years, among others. You know the signature shades you see him wearing on magazine covers and stuff? Another prop. Gift from Stiller himself, I believe.
That does sound a tad obsessive. Wasn't he furious about your burglary?
Pretty sure he didn't even notice. In years since, I never saw a news story about a daring heist or anything. Feel like he would have made some hay out of that. If he did know, he'd probably just want to give me a stoic fist bump or something.
Why didn't you mention this when you gave the gift? More irony?
Essentially, it's not that easy to explain. Broadcasting the gesture would have made it seem tawdry and would somewhat defray its humor value.
I see. So it was a private joke, and if anyone besides you was in on it, the joke would be ruined.
Like I said, there are layers. On one level, I give you a filthy, tattered piece of shit, albeit of tremendous cultural significance, manhandled by some old B-movie actors now candy-coated to function as a highly practical defender droid for your personal protection. On another level, I needed to incorporate something passable as a real heirloom, for sentimental reasons.
Aww. Wait, real sentiment or ironic sentiment? Or is there no difference? Am I missing the point here?
Nah, it was genuine. The upper echelons of irony should always include measures of sincerity. If the satirical practice is executed faithfully, it will achieve something bona fide in its own right regardless. Through an intense commitment bordering on religious devotion to the absolutely inane, absurd, or plain fucking stupid, a very different kind of sincerity begins to materialize. One of reverence to the ridiculous. You begin to mean it, but what exactly it is you mean is never quite what appears on the surface, and is utterly inaccessible to obtuse and literal minds. That you mean it then becomes inseparable from the joke, and additional rich strata of humor may be stripped aggressively from this irreconcilable truth.
This is fascinating. If a wee bit more dissertation than I bargained for this morning. I have so much to learn, and I am not even saying that ironically. Will you teach me your ways one day, sir? Perhaps an apprenticeship will open.
Oh god, I'd love that. Consider the position yours for the taking any time. Feel free to approach and kneel before Cal. With my sword and his floppy mitten, you'll receive my flash step anointment shoulder to shoulder and to shoulder again.
Tempting, but that range check will have to stay unendorsed for now. Lil Seb is beginning to act out, and I must put his fidgetness to constructive use.
Cool. Jade, one more thing. I'm sure you must be aware by now that you'll be the leader of our group, as you will be the first to enter the session.
No, this is news to me. I never gathered that team leader was a thing for this game.
Trust me, it's a thing.
Are you sure? I have my doubts. I believe as a group we will have the temerity to succeed without my having to order people around like an insufferable bossy pants.
That's why you're our leader, Jane. Optimism through stalwart skepticism is an effect not everyone is plucky enough to be graced with.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know. You're not our leader, you're our friend, right?
Precisely. There is a big difference.
And statements like that are also why you're our leader, but only in name and in spirit, less so functionally. If it puts your mind at ease, I'll be the one pulling the strings here.
Oh, yes? then this whole affair will be one of D. Strider's grand productions in puppetry.
I will be the unseen hand whose nimble digits are behind every subtle twitch in our session's bulbous foam ass. At least those gyrations not happening by the volition of its own quivering, absorbent proboscis. If you ever need help, Jane, if you're ever in any trouble at all, let me know. Just say the word. I'll whip the toggle stick of this ludicrous marionette cavorting its humongous bottom to intercept your freefall through the abyss, snow cone you up in the fluffy crook of its cleft. Don't be alarmed if you're in no hurry to unpry yourself. For the great jut of this impudent rump has more yield to your touch than you ever dreamt. Remember to catch your breath, as it cherishes the imprint of your hand like a memento from a lover gone to a war. There's a lot given to that ass, you may say. Might like to settle in, make myself comfortable, start a family. Bounce a coin off that ass, you'll demand of visitors. It's not going anywhere. Bet that coin will take a good nap there. It's a gamble you win every goddamn time. Yeah.
These lessons we talked about, they've already begun, haven't they?
Jane, soon you'll believe what I told you. You'll believe it all. It's just a shame that believing will take something so coarse as seeing for a girl as sharp as you. Critical thought can lead one to accept the unlikely just as much as dismiss the impossible. I can help with this too. Would you like me to program a Jane Crocker responder for you? I only require a simple captcha of your brain.
Holy moly. No, thank you. Thank you, but no. I'm not ready to get dialogic with my cyber self just yet. My friends keep me busy enough as it is. Speaking of which, I really need to go. I know you love to talk my ear off, and it's always a treat, but let's catch up later after the game starts, okay? And if I do need your help, I promise I'll take you up on your offer.
I made several. Which one?
The one where you hopefully, not literally, offered to catch me in the crevice of a great big squishy butt. GTG, gotta get going.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. Okay, I don't know much about that one.
Jane, command Sebastian to lift fridge. You order dear sweet little Sebastian to put his fidgetiness to constructive use. He is eager to assist and lifts the appliance with ease. He finds a note taped underneath the fridge. It seems to be addressed to you. Jane, read note. Daughter, if you are reading this, it means you are strong enough to lift the fridge. You've truly become a mature, powerful woman. I've never been more proud. Now be a good girl, put the fridge down, and stay inside. Fat chance, Dad. This bird's gotta fly. Uh-oh. Lil Seb's acting out again. His legs are getting fidgety and bothersome. Better tell him to put the fridge down gently before he causes more damage. Jane, tell Seb to put fridge down. Hey, at
Well,
least it
you
wasn't a
got
bathtub
outside.
this time. Jane, throw down your hat in disgust. Jane, level up. You've been climbing your echelon ladder very gradually for various minor accomplishments here and there since you were 13. That was such a sweet textbook hat puff. It earned you just enough to clear the next rung, Fedora fledgling. Nice going. Hat, level up. The well-traveled hat shares in your glorious spoils. The battle-hardened accessory reaches dizzying new heights, leapfrogging from the douchebag's dome sucker rung to the rare, highly coveted martyr's piss cradle rung. Jake, run. How can these things be so fast on land? It moves like some sort of giant frisky seal that's very hungry and angry. You know from experience that bullets only make them hungrier and angrier, so there's nothing to do but run. Oh no, it's a hostile swarm of those little fairy bulls. They're probably pissed off about the one you killed earlier. They've come for revenge. Oh my god, the humanity! How they exact their pound of flesh! Oh god, no! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Nearby, someone or something bleats like a goat for strategic purposes. And also, ironic purposes. Jane, run. The jig is so totally up. Nothing left to do but scurry your little legs to that box, snatch the mail, and scram. Jane, get mail.
As if we didn't know.
The fucking
Yes,
title, like, floating in the sky.
Yes, Homestuck. We know we're reading Homestuck.
I don't think we do. I didn't.
Yo, this is Homestuck?
What the heck is Homestuck?
Jane, quick.
Grab it. Oh.
Oh, what?
There's a
What?
pipe bomb in your mailbox.
Whoa. Has someone be like a Jane? Whoa, pipe bomb.
End of
So
Act
sweet.
6, Act 1.
What?
Well,
One down.
okay then.
What?
No,
What?
not kids. I mean
Now?
these curtain dealies. Still need to set up, what, like another 5 of these rigs? God damn it. I hope I don't run out of green curtain cloth. Shit's expensive. So, what about all those other kids? Huh? Who? Oh yeah, those people. Aren't they all dead? No, not quite. Oh god, you're right. There's still a few characters I haven't killed yet. I almost forgot about them. I was planning on totally messing with them in the short window of time they're in the same universe as me. Hopefully it isn't too late. Wait, why am I even laughing? This is a completely inappropriate reaction. Besides, I'm a tin can. Robots don't have feelings. Hussybot, check time. Let's see, they should be traveling near the speed of light across a distance of 1 yard, giving them about 3 nanoseconds before they crash through the other wall, which means I have about— holy shit, I'm almost out of time to fuck up the story. Who would have thought nanoseconds could fly by so fast? Hussybot, hurry! Who am I kidding? Even use my super fast robotic author avatar, I barely have time to do anything. Maybe we'll just level up these kids before they go, and that's it. They've earned it after all, don't you think? John, level up. You produce your most spirited lad scramble yet and hop up to the next god tier, achieving the illustrious Revenge of Dr. Ragnarok. All of your vitals go completely bonkers. Your man grid is off the charts. You're embarrassed for us to even know what it is. It's that gaudy. Who's echoing? Raven!
Sorry, what?
You're echoing!
Sorry, I can't turn down my volume.
Great.
I already did.
Jade, level up. You put forth your best last scamper of all time and clear another sweet god tier, the nigh unattainable Sayonara, Kansas. Your battle stats predictably go haywire. You accrue so much youngster gumption, it's basically insane. Nobody should ever mess with you. Not even me. John and Jade, reap spoils. You don't get boon dollars anymore, that shit's for babies now. Instead, you're finally ready to have your first achievement badge sewn onto your kitty camper handy sash. You each receive the badge Gift of Gab, enabling you to engage in simple, direct dialogue with others without requiring any gimmicks to facilitate communication. You don't need to type through a chat client or talk to a sprite or traverse through a memory in a dream bubble or wander around in an interactive game environment or any of that stuff. You seriously never thought you'd live to see this achievement unlocked. It almost feels like cheating, like conversing in God mode. Alright, everybody, and that's gonna do it for today's episode of Homestuck. Homestuck.
Oh
Da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. I've run out of fun things to say in the outro.
Next
I like
time on Dragon Ball Z.
Guess we could do character discussion. Dirk's cool.
I got it, guys. Get us 1,000 likes and we will read all of One Piece on camera.
No.
God,
1,000
no.
likes and we read fanfic.
I
I
think
think
I'll
reading
get a.
webcomics would be fun. I think reading some of the better webcomics could be really cool.
Also,
Yeah.
who's this Dirk you speak of, Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan.
I
it's
only
an
know
S, they said his name,
DS.
Yeah.
They've only
They've
referred to him as
explicitly
DS.
referred to him only as DS.
DS,
Oh,
D
come on. I could
Strider.
have sworn.
Somebody
okay.
just called him Strider at one point, yeah, but
They also
Just
haven't
when
said
they
the,
referred to him
the
his name, but
Pink
yeah, you're probably
Girl's
right.
name yet.
Also,
RL.
Also, John and Jade must have gotten a level in a D&D class because they got the spell Gift of Gab.
God, that spell's broken.
Broken is in good or broken is in I have no idea how it works sometimes.
Also, the next bit, we're not gonna get introduced to the next two kids for like another like 200 pages. So.
Amazing.
Let's
So
introduce.
I think that
keep
tells
doing
you
the
how
joke,
long
but-
the intermission is.
I keep doing the joke, but it is always funny. Of let's introduce 4 more named characters.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know if I'm a fan of how Jake about.
characters and they're all hornier.
They're more teenagers now. They're older.
Yeah,
They're like what,
They're
like
perfect. I love
16?
them.
15?
Yeah.
I can't remember the age.
They're almost 16.
They are cool.
They're doing their things, you know.
I'm not
Like,
liking where
running into Lucai somehow?
Yeah, and Jake's weird Lord English like computer system doesn't bode well for me, at least. I don't know. I'm not liking the looks of that.
All I'm saying is I've seen that tiara that Jane's wearing before. And you have too.
Like you as in all of us, or you as just in Raven?
All of us.
Well, the trolls have it.
Fef has a golden thing, if that's what you're
Yeah.
referring to.
That is in fact what I'm referring to.
That's what I was thinking.
It's similar, it's not the exact same.
Each character has some weird. Also, I called it earlier. I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, but I did call it that. That fine DS's bro is the one who is making the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff movies. Well, I mean, it's not confirmed yet, but I mean, like, they wouldn't show a movie poster for Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff and then mention how DS's bro is making movies and it not be the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff movie.
They also called it unwatchable, which adds credence to the idea that it's the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff movie. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Unwatchable unless your name is Jake English.
I like how, I don't know if it's Hussey getting better at writing, but I find it interesting how almost all of the characters already have something interesting behind the scenes to get us interested in them. You know, like subtle hints, you know, like Roxy. No, we know her name's Roxy, right? Like
No.
They have not,
She has
in
not
fact,
been
said
introduced.
that.
Gosh darn it. Lalonde, then. We know that this Lalonde is somehow knows about troll language.
She's using troll, like, wording?
Vernacular.
They talked to a alien.
They did
Yeah, we don't know
talk
if
to
it's a
an
troll.
alien.
And, you know, Jake has that whole thing going on with the whole Lord English stuff and the Lucis Island, which is very confusing. I really hope it's not all the Lucis, because there are multiple on there that just, if they speak at all, everyone die, or all the trolls
There's
die, I
only
guess, or-
one of them.
Oh yeah, well, most of them are, like, pretty powerful still. Didn't what's his, Solux's, like, Lucis have, like, those psychic powers too?
I think
Like,
he was just
remember-
chained to the roof.
Yeah.
No,
He was
oh, I
just-
thought, because in, the one animation, we see the king use the red and blue, like, psychic powers in, like, a psych battle with Solux.
Yeah, but also that's fan-made, so yeah.
True.
I think it was just like, hey, that would look cool, and we don't really see what this guy ever does, so...
I think we don't really see what most of them do. I mean, maybe we'll see it later. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that's how they find out about it. We find out about it when Jake comes across it, I guess.
Also, Hussey calling it a wild crab dad.
Oh, I just got the dad part of it. I just thought it was like a crawdad joke. But no, yeah, now I get it.
Anyway, remember to like, comment, subscribe.